That reminds me, Shark. Remind me just to give you the password to log on to the server so you can grab the recordings without me having to download them, zip them up into groups less than 8 megs so you've just got access to it.
Yep.
Right, I'll be back in a sec. And if you could check the sound, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Hello, beautiful and possibly hiding stream audience.
I'm here too, and me.
My sound is also very beautiful.
Yay, is it? Or is it echoey like
So
every...
beautiful that I hear it multiple times.
Yay,
And
that's
it
what we
even
like.
bothers me.
Oh, where's my everything? Don't remember this track. We've done it, I think. But not in ages and ages and ages. There's no mechanical sympathy in this game whatsoever. Start the engine, redline it, dump the clutch, gone. Like a real car.
What would mechanical sympathy?
Well,
No?
well, my clutch is cold, my engine oil's cold, my water temperature is cold, my turbo is cold, my manifold is cold. Everything in this car is cold. You would not do what I just did. You're going to break something by warming it up that quickly. And your tyres would have no grip whatsoever. So this game is pretty realistic, but you don't need to do those sort of things.
Isn't the tire temperature measured and just a script to tell that they are good?
Yeah, but it starts off... In this game, you start off on track as if you had tyre warmers on your car. Tyre warmers are a thing, and oh, that's new. Oh dear, that's very exciting on the rig, that bit. Yes, so tyre warmers are a thing, but that's not really something you get until you start getting very serious about driving on a track. Normally, you just take a couple of laps slower. And I've seen people swerving like this left and right, and it's hilarious because I've got tyre temperature monitors on my car, and I can tell you for nothing that swerving a bit going down the straight does not make any appreciable difference to your car's tyre temperature. This is going to be an interesting track, so there's a couple of very, very, very tight corners. I think there's another one. Yes. And this is a left-hander, not a right-hander. I'm remembering the track now because this is the one that had found the somewhat dodgy shortcut on. Is this bit flat out? It's quite scary. Oi! It's very scary. The rig drops away. It really does. I think you're going too fast that corner.
Yeah.
It's alright, just use me to slow yourself down a bit.
I think I'll apply, like, if I mess something up and it can't be repaired, then I'm gonna marshal the rest of the race. Have a real consequence for my own errors.
The important thing is with errors and mistakes is whether or not you meant to. Like on that the last time we played, when I thought there was enough room for me and I misjudged it by about 6 inches, so I slightly knocked you. I didn't expect to knock you out of the way. I thought to make it through. I mean, that's often why I defend the things I do, because I'm not there to try and smash you off. I thought I could fit. I thought I could outbrake you. I thought I could get past. I was wrong, but that's an honest mistake, as opposed to, I'll just slam through what they're going to do, which is what we found what a lot of the randoms are doing. Oops, too wide. Ooh.
But I have also edited a lot of mistakes and I'm annoyed how much I do like small rams. Like, I'm not feeling the incentive to not to do them.
Well, so what we're doing here is Amateur Track Day / British Touring Car Championship. I can't remember what DMC stands for, Deutsche Moto Championship. And in that, certainly in racing, you are not supposed to have any contact. But people do. But it is, you get shouted at for it, but you don't get told off. As long as it's not intentional contact. That's the important thing. Now, hold on, I've just jumped a foot up in the air. It's a bit weird. Now, when you're an open wheeler, it's different. So the reason that open wheelers are so dangerous and it's zero contact is if you hit something, you're not hitting a piece of bodywork that's not spinning, you're hitting a rotating object rotating at 200 miles an hour with something rotating 200 miles an hour in the opposite direction. So it's very, very, very dangerous. So that's why BTCC doesn't mind contact too much, but say F1, it's an enormous no-no. Good evening, Izzard. I think that's you clunking away.
Clunk, clunk.
Every trip?
Yeah.
Doesn't really rhyme, does it?
Clunk clays every race. Better. Fixed it for you.
My favourite EV FUD of the day. No one can afford to get an EV. It costs over £2,000 to get a charge socket put into your house.
Okay.
No,
well,
it doesn't, does it?
It's naive.
It's not naive.
It's not even a requirement.
Well, yeah, but it's also just... he doesn't think it believes that. He just wants it to make... He's exaggerated to make it sound like it's much worse than it is. Looks like Rob's...
Just jealousy.
Well, yes. I mean, it looks like Rob's getting a 32 amp commando socket popped in his garden wall. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, a lot of, let's say, the naysayers, they're not driving nice cars. I must drive 500 miles in my Skoda Octavia. Brilliant, mate. You know, it's not the same level. But I actually get the slightly... I get to appeal to authority because I go, look at the car in my display picture. That's mine. Because I had the most weird Tesla fanboy basically going on about how Teslas are the best in the snow. And I was like, it's not. I goes, you know, four-wheel drive means nothing because 50-50 weight balance. And I was like, mate, you're in Manchester. Next time it snows, bring your Tesla over and we'll go out and I'll go out in my Impreza. And you'll see the Tesla's brilliant. It's a wonderful, brilliant car. But best in all situations, especially in the snow? Good Lord, no.
I guess if the reference is terrible, then doing only bad is excellence.
Well, I don't know, but it's like you get this sort of Tesla fanboy who believes that car is the best car under all circumstances, and it's not. It's a brilliant car. It's really good. But you know, my Impreza is about 2/3 of the weight of the Tesla, and no matter what fancy electronics you've got, you're going to go around corners faster than the light of your car weighs. I mean, that's kind of just the... that's just physics. You can't cheat physics. Except on a motorbike, where it feels like you're cheating physics.
Physics uses a lot of approximations, and those are quite vulnerable to be cheated.
Yeah, well, there's only two things, really, in cornering. Well, that's three, but basically two. How big your tyres are and how much your vehicle weighs. That's it. That's what determines how fast you go around a corner. And the Tesla is heavy with big tyres. My Impreza is light with big tyres. So I'm going to win going around corners. And I win in the slow because I've got three LSDs and big tyres and I weigh less. I love going out in the snow in my car. I wish that I could do it properly, like in a big car park. Do you remember this track, Izzard, or not? It's been a while. It's been a few weeks since we've done it. Because there's a very sharp left-hander coming up, so be careful. And then there's the Laguna Seca style S-bend, which is sketchy even at these speeds. And a very slow left-hander.
No.
Like I can't see my speedo. 40 miles an hour slow? 50 maybe? But yeah, this is a good track. This is a track I would enjoy in real life. It's got a couple of fast bits, some really punishing sharp bits. And this is a much slower left-hander than I took it. So you've mentioned the case you're on, which does sound appalling. Do you ever sometimes get like cheerful cases where you're like, yes, it's brilliant, this is great that we've done it, or is it just always, oh god, what is it now?
Are you streaming?
I am. Is this a non?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll ask you another time then.
Yeah.
Because I sometimes find, I say at the arcade, like some of the things I do, like I don't enjoy the game I'm doing it on at all. It's just like, oh, whatever. But you know, the actual challenge itself is fascinating and interesting. Even after the end of it, I give the game a 6-second cursory. Oh, yeah, that works, brilliant, and don't care again. But the technical bit is much more interesting.
Okay, so I mean, was your question basically, was it amazing despite being horrible? Was that the
No,
question?
not that. But sometimes are you on less horrible things that are like, I'm so glad I'm doing this, rather than, oh dear God, what am I going to find out this time?
Yeah, always.
Okay.
It was unprecedented across the UK, history. That's all I can talk about.
They should make a movie about that.
Yeah, I think they should.
Well, you know, set up a Netflix thing. They'll put anything on Netflix. There's a trope about it.
Is there?
Yes. Oh, that
Well,
rubber
that's
strips are rough.
ironic because I can never find what I want to watch on it. Every time I want to search something on Netflix, it shows me things related to it.
Oh yes. Well, they've got everything in the database, even if you can't actually watch it. Ooh,
It's changed because years ago it felt like you could find anything on Netflix, and they used to have a lot of movies. But since they started having more shows, they seem to have far fewer movies.
That's because everybody else is paying more money for it. That's the issue.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously Warner, they won't spend any money. It'll only be on HBO Max. So
It is, but also I think they kind of hit their stride and found their niche with their own produced shows and things as well. So
yes.
They didn't need to have all the movies to compete to get your money. They could manage with things like Tiger King.
Yes, and I mean they do a bunch of films, some of which have been quite good. Some of which haven't. Like Code Red was pretty good because it's got. Let me sum up Code Red for you. It's got Ryan Reynolds, Dwayne Johnson, and Gal Gadot in it. There you go. That's all you need to know. I'm like, brilliant, and it's great because those three are all wonderful screen presences. So whatever they do is awesome. God, that is so sketchy when you do it right. Did I do it right? I can't tell. It felt like I did.
I think getting that one right is getting yourself in the right position and then flooring it.
Yeah, you want to Want to cut? Wait, where's Shao cut? Oh no, that's right. There's another lap. I don't care. Overtake me all you like. Good luck taking the corner from that angle. I can't squeeze you out, but I don't have to give you a good line.
Yeah.
Whereas I can go wide, floor it. No, it didn't work. Yes!
No, span out. Where is everyone?
We're messing around with these chicanes. I think it's interesting that when we hit about 5 people on the server, suddenly that's when all the randoms start joining because we're sliding up the lists.
Yeah, this is when it's only got 2 people. It looks like a crap server.
Fool over here. You off-roaded.
I am.
The join was flawless.
I'm using all the track and then a bit more.
A bit more.
Yes, I'm using all the track and then carrying on to. Yeah, this is not the sort of car you would do this in. This is definitely a road car. And I just tried to adjust the mirror again because it's in slightly the wrong place. Like with my hand. But you got the best lap.
And flawless race. Wow.
But you didn't hit anything?
I didn't see any errors and I didn't make any errors.
Well, should have come in first then.
Or violate.
Yeah, your error was not winning.
I guess errors were made, but not rule violations.
Yeah.
Suboptimal driving, but legal driving.
Let me turn my projector off now.
You want to get closer to illegal driving in order to get optimal driving.
Why is the boost bear disconnecting? Oh, they're back.
No, his name's Eden Alcarnu.
Etanolikarhu?
That's what I said.
So,
It means
No.
small dog.
No.
so as far as I can tell, and it's a shame, this game doesn't limit the range of the steering motion based on the car's range. Like if it puts you in a car with like 180-degree steering, it doesn't apply the soft bumpers in the force feedback.
No, I don't think the game. I've never seen a game do that. I mean, they can in theory. Like the game could tell the steering wheel what range to do, but I've never seen that actually applied in a game.
Yeah, I could set it in G-Hub, but I think it would disable the force feedback if I did that.
I'm quite surprised because these things, like this game's been around a while, you would have thought they would have had support for everything, including the little lights. Which Forza still doesn't have support for. But you said off. No, what did you say? Assetto Corsa does have the lights.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd be in VR, so I'd never noticed them. Oh, that was a very sharp turn from Eaton mess there.
I count that as not big enough. My fault.
No, he went very wide and then just sort of very tightly swerved across.
I guess that was dangerous, but no contact.
Well, it was
But
more than it was just a poor line rather than anything else. Whoops, too fast. Oh, much too fast for... What is his name? Did you say Tiny Moose or something?
Boost bear.
Moose
The
Bear.
first part is the first part is the name of a chemical, and then there's bear in the end.
What's the chemical?
You remove the I, and it should be English as ethanol.
So his name is Drunken Moose.
Bear.
Bear,
not
Drunken
moose.
Bear. But his name's not Ethanol Bear, that'd be a very poor name.
That's the name.
God, this corner is... That's slow, 40 miles an hour, that one. And this one's not much better.
I guess that's kind of guessable because there's a popular beer by that symbol.
Ethan, yeah, Ethan.
Oh, dear.
Really? You've got a beer that's just got the word ethanol? Because
No, beer. Beer.
Bear, okay. But, wait, his name's ethanol or alcohol? Because ethanol, isn't ethanol the bad one? Ethanol's the bad one, isn't it?
I guess that's the bad one.
Yeah. But ethanol's what you'd use in a car. Like, that's the alcohol
Yes.
you burn. And the one that makes you go blind.
What's the alcohol in drinks?
Methanol and ethanol are two commonly referred things. I don't remember exactly which one was the bad one.
Right, but do you know which one you get in alcoholic drinks?
Isopropyl. No,
No.
I can't remember. That's why I'm like...
It's ethanol, isn't it?
I can't remember. Ethanol is definitely in petrol. I'm sure of that. And isopropyl is the medical alcohol that you shouldn't drink. And I can't remember about methanol.
Well, no.
Say that methanol is in mess and ethanol is in booze.
Yeah. Exactly.
On the third book. Computer's not working.
Which one's in petrol? I'm pretty sure it's ethanol because the E rating. Because E85 is 85% ethanol, and that stuff's awesome, but you can't buy it in this
See,
country.
you've remembered it now.
Oh yeah, but no, I remember which one's in petrol, but yeah, because methylated spirits are the ones you're not supposed to drink, even though they look delicious and it tastes great. If you've never watched it, I highly recommend the Big Clive video where he tests the theory that the bitterant in methanol is so bad you'd never drink it, and it's like, yep, it's quite a video.
And yet people do.
I'm not sure anyone does anymore. The bitterant's really, I mean, if you don't have taste buds left.
Exactly, or COVID.
Oh yeah, I guess you could get COVID and then drink meths and go blind.
Yep.
Hashtag life goals.
Blind drunk.
I feel like I'm driving very carefully, but you know, consistently and well. And Drunken Bear there is right on my arse.
That's how I feel about Sharka.
That he's a drunken bear.
But I'm gonna maul you.
I would have thought he's more of a twink, but you know.
Catch me first. Now's a good time.
Yes, go visit the nature.
So, Rob, have you come to a decision about the name of your car?
You can tell what Adam's default thought is at the moment, can't you?
Cars. Well, I can't talk about the programming I'm doing because, well, I can, but you know, there are videos. But yeah, I'm excited. I have 14 days until I pick my car up, and I've never had a new car.
Tell us about the programming.
I've been doing particle effects for building and trying to make just basic, I built an object here, nice and satisfying. Because I have noticed in a lot of games, doing one of the most simple things in the game should be pretty satisfying because you've been doing it a lot. So
I was there when you learnt how to do particle effects because we discovered a bit of software called Particle Magic and we played around with that a lot and probably stole particle sprites from it.
Discord. And the answer is no, I don't have a name for the car.
Oh, you should call it a runabout. That I think runabout is the best thing you can get away with. That's not too nerdy, but true nerds will get it. Or the Reliant, which is also a good one, but people think it's Reliant Robin.
So I'm sure some of the particles in the original Projector games were lifted from Particle Magic.
Oh, absolutely. There's no two ways about it.
And then you made your own particle system that you probably reused over and over again.
Absolutely, yes.
And you probably formed habits that you haven't broken since. So they'll give you all your games a certain kind of je ne sais quoi.
Yes, and that je ne sais quoi is, why have you got so many particles? And it's like, I like particles. I have discovered it's very easy to make any effect look good. You just got to chuck 10,000 particles at it. The hard part is making it look just as good with only 100 particles.
Particles aren't massively expensive, are they?
If you want to do them properly, they are, because it's the overdraw. It's the fact that any given pixel might have 1,000 particles overdrawn on it. Now, this guy is asking for trouble. He's going to be the car and the car sandwich. Wow, we went 4 abreast on that corner, and very little in the way of damage.
Oi. Grass overtake.
No, this is good close racing. No one's crashed. I've got my sarcastic macro ready.
Now he's gonna have to join on full. If others are doing grass cutting, then I'm gonna do also.
I mean, it's very difficult to use the grass and come out with an advantage. It's so risky because it's so slippy. Like, normally if you go off the grass, you don't get much scope for accelerating. Or braking, or steering. such a slow corner. It's not that slow though. No, I haven't come up with a good name for my car yet. I need to find something suitable. The best one I've seen is Usain Bolt, which I think is brilliant. I'm not sure I can actually top.
So you have bottomed out on the list of names.
Well, I don't really have a list. I just haven't come up with anything that's better than that.
I think I fixed my sound. What was on your list?
Usain Bolt.
You've seen that on Facebook.
Yeah, I know, and it's good. I really like it. I think it's really clever, and that's the cleverest one I've seen. And I'm like, yeah, I like that one.
It only works for a performance, though.
Well, that's fine.
Does it have to be unique?
No.
No, fortunately, it's not the number plate.
Your number plate. Yipper.
Yeah, well, I doubt number plates are globally unique anyway.
Oh, that's an interesting question. I don't know.
I guess many countries have like unique shape, so you can like the measures identify the country.
No, but like the layout.
Countries can't even get their act together over a global pandemic. They're not going to organise globally unique car registrations.
It's more likely to be out of coincidence. UK ones might not be valid anywhere else, and hence unique. But it would just be by chance, right?
Yeah, because there's probably a country that lets you have anything as long as it fits or something like that.
Well, America. Definitely. Like the customized number plates in America, you can literally have anything up to 8 characters long. Which would be brilliant, and I don't know why the UK has not gone down that route, because you can make an awful lot of money just selling number plates. Like, it's free money. It's literally people will pay even more than the insane amount.
There's a Y2K style problem where the number plates won't fit in someone's computer.
Well, no, because you limit it to the same number of characters it is now. So the longest you can have now is 8. So you just limit it to 8 characters.
Yeah, but isn't X excluded because it's for certain usages, and O's aren't in there, and U's apparently aren't in there for some reason?
All of that.
They're probably they're reserved for something. Right?
Yeah, all of that's bollocks though. These days, that was all back before it was computerized.
But some computer is written in COBOL, and no one can change it.
But it has changed now, because in the old days you couldn't have the letter O, and my registration has got the letter O in it. So you could only have zeros. All O's were numbers, and now you can have numbers or letters.
I bet someone could change it, Rob. Have you seen what COBOL programmers can charge these days?
I know COBOL.
I still remember fondly when somebody on purpose made the vanity plate null, just to see whether any computer system trips on that.
Also,
shouldn't trip, but they will trip.
You might know a bit of COBOL, but you ain't going to sit down and fix bugs in an old, massive system with COBOL.
To be fair, I probably could, because after a while, languages, they are all the same. They just boil back basically down to syntax.
Yeah, that isn't the problem. The problem is the systems.
Because it's too dangerous.
Yeah, I wouldn't just wait and go and fixed it. Obviously, it goes through plenty of code read. But the important thing is I can read COBOL. And because I can read the language, I can then look at the logic issues.
Yeah, I studied it.
For it.
I did COBOL at uni.
Something and no one can recompile it.
I did COBOL at uni and have played around with it. But yeah, if you're going to fix anything, you've got to do a lot of studying of the system. And you need the manuals next to you.
Yes. Oh no. So the system is the hard part.
Yeah. So there's people who get their hand in and they can charge serious money.
It's not enough money.
A lot of systems still using it.
There's not enough money in the world to make me want to use COBOL. There can't be that many now. I mean, I know a lot of the financial systems around the the 2000 Millennium Bug stuff, they all stopped being COBOL. So as far as I know, there's a lot less than there were. Fewer? A lot fewer than there were. Many fewer systems.
Yeah, but data migration projects on that scale are far riskier and far more expensive than just paying a batch of COBOL programmers. So some of them just don't have a reason to change. And obviously they build interfaces to other newer systems.
Yes. So with Cobalt running on in a VM on some emulating an old Deck 10 or something.
Yeah, that's it. Speed isn't really an issue.
Oops-a-daisy, Mr. Ethanol.
I guess I'm more quoted.
There you go. I get to do my macro.
Oh, it's a smug mode.
No, it's just, don't be too aggressive.
It's reading your macro now. Too fast.
And then you're gonna join on full. Oh, the manners.
Let's.
Oh, snap.
Apparently, there's just one giant player following me.
I didn't do that.
Did you guard do it?
Did I what?
Was it my avatar? Did he do it?
No, I mean I contributed to it, but he didn't have to hit me.
It's nice out in front. It's just peaceful and quiet, and no one's trying to do terrible things to me.
Get in, boys.
Are you sure this isn't a dream?
I did see there's a guy he's got a little girl and she's deaf and she's a bit of a internet sensation and people ask her questions, and one of the questions was, do people in your dreams talk? Which I thought was quite interesting. And the little girl says that they don't. In her dreams everybody knows sign, which I thought was even more interesting.
In her dreams.
I had a friend who was Polish and he came into the office one day saying, I just dreamed in English. And it was his breakthrough moment when he became an English speaker who could speak Polish rather than a Polish speaker who could speak English.
If you've been watching Hawkeye, there's quite a lot of deaf stuff in it for, I'm not sure why, but it's pushing very heavily into people being deaf as a thing. This means a lot of subtitles, so... but I'm enjoying it so far.
Yeah. I don't know why Shark went so slowly there. I think he was being overcautious.
I was even undercautious for this.
So Rob, the 2 days after I get my car, I'm going to go and see my friends in Sheffield, and then 2 days after that I'm going to go and pick my sister up and take her to the train station. I have all my new car. I will happily give anyone a lift at anywhere. Task already planned
whilst
out.
it still smells of new car.
Picking your sister up from?
Ramsbottom.
I mean, make use of the time. Pick up people's sisters up.
And drop in for a coffee on the way.
Sorry, Rob?
Pick her up from Brighton and come for coffee on the way.
Fucking hell. She doesn't live in Brighton though, so...
Oh, okay.
She lives in Ramsbottom.
Where's that?
Bury? Basically, she lives within, 10 miles of Leeds Arcade, Bury Arcade.
Tell her if she wants to go in your car, she has to be in Brighton.
I thought she lived in Brighton.
No. When does yours drop? 21st? 22nd?
23rd.
21st, you're going to come up and see me then?
I might do.
Just put it on the road, put it on full autopilot, just have a nap. There's a video linked in the chat at the minute that shows how that definitely won't go wrong.
Yeah, I saw that.
The comments though are this shouldn't be allowed. Like, it's not allowed. It very specifically says don't do this. And the guy's jabs.
When people say stuff shouldn't be allowed that isn't.
Yes.
As in, wow, you are geniuses. You figured out it shouldn't be allowed.
Yes, it's like if you tell someone not to rob you, they can't rob you without breaking the law.
Absolutely.
So we're not going to get a chance to do our video then, Rob. We had a video planned, but there's only like one day that we could do it on, and that'd be the 17th. And I'd have to drive down to fucking London. I might.
Then we'll just have to not make the video.
That sounds rubbish. Nick a Prius.
And comparing your new car to my new car won't be won't be a dramatic difference anyway.
It will.
And definitely won't be a difference that hasn't been on YouTube.
No, that has been on YouTube though. Like there is a difference. Like, but
there is a difference.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
seen it, but it's not like the Prius difference.
No, that would be hilarious. I'd like to do my Impreza versus the Tesla, because it's that sort of thing you want to see. You want to see... The problem is that now, when they're doing, like, versus Tesla videos, you're getting, the other guy's in a £150,000 performance car that's all fucking carbon fibre and sticky tyres to try and compete. I want to see it against, like... against, like, a Golf Type R or something. What people would consider a fast road car. I'm gonna get him! I'm gonna get him!
You got me.
Amazing. But it would be kind of cool if in this game you did have to manage your car a little bit more. In a real car, you might end up doing like a slow lap when your brakes start to get a bit...
With longer races, there was like a hidden mechanic, or I discovered as I was driving the car wrong. 8 laps versus 5 laps.
Yes, I mean, Tad discovers this when he's oversteering and he bursts his tyres. But when you're driving, I mean, I've driven in race cars, that's different. Race cars can go all afternoon, no problem. But a road car, so like my Impreza, it's great. It is a Type R, but 20 minutes out on racetrack and it wants to come in and cool down, and things are getting a bit smelly and a bit less responsive. But it's not a race car. And what we're driving now is not a race car. After 10 laps, the brakes in this would be useless. The tyres would be coming off. It would smell very, very bad.
I guess that would make for an exciting resource management, in that you could, in a pinch, drive very fast to overtake or like resist overtake.
Yes.
But you can't do it constantly.
Well, that's what they do in F1. The F1s will say, you're a bit low on fuel and or your tyres are a bit worn. You need to take the next few laps before your pit stop more gently. But you do need a pit crew to help you do that. Like some cars do have tyre, brake, and in some cases battery measurements. I mean, my car, I've got turbo gauge, turbo temperature. So if I push my car hard, the engine oil starts to get hot. And when engine oil gets hot, it gets more viscous? Less viscous. Oh, I forgot which way around. Less viscous.
Gets less viscous when it's hot.
Yeah. To the point whereas if I've been really ragging it, well, first of all, one of the things starts to beep on my dash, and secondly, the engine just stalls if I let it idle, because there's not enough, the oil isn't thick enough to run the engine anymore. And it's that sort of thing. If you really are ragging it, because I've had people, again, I've seen laps of Model 3 performances on the Nürburgring, and they do fine. I've also seen people going, oh, Tesla's brake fade more than 3 laps, and I'm like, yeah, but I've seen people drive cars on track, like, they're very, very, very aggressive with no mechanical sympathy. You're braking too late and too hard, you're not gaining anything, and certainly not anything significant on your lap time, and you are going to start complaining about brake fade, but mostly you should be braking 25 yards sooner and a bit more gentle. So I'm very curious to get the Tesla onto track and compare it against the Impreza, which, as I said before, I've got quick fit specials on there. Literally, they are quick fits, bargain basement, pads for life, and I chuck them away as often as I want because I've got pads for life. Suckers. So did you hear about the guy in America that failed his driving test for not using the brake pedal?
No.
He was in a Tesla, and he just used the regen, and they failed him. And he's like, well, I didn't need to use the brake pedal. There has been quite an outcry, and now they've actually changed it to a pass. But yeah, lots of sarcastic comments. It's like, did he have to did he have to demonstrate he can change gear as well? Why didn't he turn the regen off? You can't. That sort of thing.
Well, he was lucky. Plus, he was also trying to prove something, because you do need to use the brakes occasionally.
Only if something comes out in front of you. But other than
That's
that,
what I'm saying. So you got lucky.
Yeah. Well, or unlucky, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah.
How
Yeah,
come
but
we didn't
like I
do
say,
an
he
emergency
he
brake?
absolutely, yeah, he
No.
absolutely could have used the brake.
That's doing
Yeah.
normal UK, don't you?
Oh, in
You
the
have to
UK,
do an emergency brake.
in the UK, you have to do a controlled stop. You're showing your age there. They don't call it emergency braking anymore.
No, I
So
don't.
you can drive with regen braking, and you can try and do your whole trip like that, but it's not the best way of driving for the whole trip.
Why not?
It's lovely when you can do it, because you occasionally have to use the brakes.
Check traffic lights.
On the newer ones you don't. So the Ioniq in EV6, and I don't know about the Tesla, they will spot the fact there's a car in front of you and increase the regen, and you'll come to a halt a nice distance behind it. You
Yeah, but that's not regen braking. That's using driver aids. That's a whole different conversation about whether you're being tested, whether your driving's being tested.
It's the regen cranked up all the way though. Like those two cars, their platform has got extremely high regen, like really, really high regen. But
Yeah,
that doesn't.
so it's mine. Mine's got no problem bringing it to a complete stop. Just come right off the pedal. But anyway, wait until you've driven it for a while and see if you can sort of go days without using the brake. You won't.
Well, possibly. I mean, when I drove
Really?
when I drove the Honda, the only time I used the brake was when a squirrel came out in front of me. Other than that, I just didn't touch it for the whole drive.
Yeah.
I was like, this is
So
amazing.
there you go. But you can't count on a squirrel in your driving test.
No, but which is why in the UK, as Back said, we have a controlled stop. But in the US, they don't have that. So he didn't touch the brake pedal during the whole test, and they failed him. And he's like, well,
Yeah, it is stupid. They shouldn't. If he didn't need to use the brake, then they can't fail him on it, because it should be use the brake when you need to.
yes.
Should be the test.
Well, I mean, I don't know what they were driving, but I mean, in the UK we have a lot more, towns and town sort of driving requirements. You can't just go straight on the motorway.
Well, in
So
the
I'm thinking they probably dinged him for not using the brake because they thought he should have slowed down more quickly.
No, the examiners said that basically the reason they failed him was the student did not demonstrate he is capable of moving the foot from accelerator to the brake. And everyone's like,
Right, okay,
but he
yeah,
didn't
that
need
needs
to.
changing.
There was no requirement to do that.
Yeah.
And yeah, if something had come out in front of him and he'd relied on the regen, that's bad. And all the comments, what happens if he drives a car that's not an EV? And like, dude, the kid is 17 and he's driving a fucking Tesla. I think he's rich. I don't think it's going to be a problem somehow. But yeah, typical US stuff. You pass the test in an EV and immediately go out and buy a manual Ferrari, and they don't mind you doing that.
Well, I was thinking about this squirrel thing. A friend of mine, he was driving me to Horsham down to some back roads, and there was a squirrel or something around the road. And I'm like, it's, down the back of Horsham, I don't know if you know it, but basically it's country lanes and ditches down either side. You take a wrong turn, you'll be in the ditch sort of thing.
Yeah.
And he braked hard for a squirrel. We were doing about, I don't know, 40, 50. He braked hard to avoid the squirrel. I'm like, which would you rather? Your car in a ditch or a dead squirrel?
If
You know, I'd rather have a dead squirrel, to be honest.
if you're
I
well, yeah,
remember
People are
that there,
absolutely shit about animals, I know, but
you shouldn't be either. You shouldn't be ever driving to a point where you can't stop the car safely. You should never be turning. If you're stopping, it should be in a straight line.
Yeah, but those squirrels can run out from a metre in front of your car.
The thing is, Mac, I know what you're saying, and there is, I can link you endless galleries online of kids in America when something like a deer jumped out in front of them. They're in a car, they don't care, so they don't slow down. And that
and they don't
deer.
realise that deer's going to fuck the car up.
Oh my god, no, there's not. No, people die. The gears come in through the windscreen, destroy the engine. There's no crumple zone on a deer.
Yeah.
that's why there's the size
There's
limit
one,
on
but it's only
which
good
you
for
switch.
one.
Well, true, yes. Yeah.
Hey, Tad.
Yo.
I think it's only BMW that have a heads-up display with thermal imaging, so you can actually see animals. It's only on very posh BMWs at the minute. I'd like to see that become a more common thing.
I think you'll find that Terminator had a heads-up display with thermal imaging.
Yes, but that wasn't commercially for sale and won't be until the year
We're not worried about him.
20. Fuck.
2020 fuck.
That's something that keeps annoying me. You keep seeing adverts for cars, and they're going,
Ah, my car.
internal display is not, the UK spec. I'm like, why the fuck can't we have that spec in the UK?
And quite often what it means is it's a left-hand drive, not a right-hand drive.
Really?
There's very
I don't know what I
rare.
did there.
You actually pinged out on my screen. I can't see you anymore. Yeah, you've pinged out for me. Sorry. Yeah, usually it means
Did wonder why the car went weird.
left-hand drive shown. What I like is that car manufacturers, they don't talk about performance anymore, and they've basically run out of things to say. So you have like happy children. My mother has picked me up from school in a Vauxhall Mocha. Hooray! Like, this is not what a child would say.
God, kill me now.
Yeah, it's not like.
Why aren't you walking the child to school?
Well, it might be 10 miles.
I don't give a shit. Get a bike.
I'm not sure you should send a 5-year-old to school on a bike. That's probably not very safe.
Yeah, you take them on the back of yours.
Okay, but assuming for a minute that there is at
Who's
least
got time for that?
a
Gotta get to
valid
work.
reason.
Some people do.
Yeah, but
Lots of people do.
the point is that they don't have anything
Yeah,
good to say
commercial's
about
not for
their
them
car.
anyway.
Yeah, they don't have anything good to say about their car. They haven't in years. So they basically go, look how happy this woman is driving through France in a Vauxhall Corsa. Look how pretty she is. You could be pretty like her. Buy our car.
But I also wouldn't make my 5-year-old sit on the back of a bike for 10 miles in 4 degrees centigrade. Although, that's what my dad did.
Wow.
I mean, bear in mind, where I grew up, I could have travelled to school via push bike, but I would have been dead because it was down country roads. There was no nice
Pavement.
road. Yeah, no pavement. Oh, God, no.
Did they take you home?
What, my parents? Yes, they didn't just leave me at school.
No, the country roads.
Oh,
Shows.
I see. Sorry, I that song is just one of the saddest songs ever made since Kingsman 2.
Oh yeah.
Have you not seen Kingsman 2?
Can't say that I have.
Ah, good film. They're both good. The third one's out soon, even though it's been out in the States for a year. Go figure.
Go figure.
Go draw a nice figure.
So, Tad,
Yes.
Tad,
Hello.
I have a question. You've developed a new affectation, and I'm wondering where it's come from. Where you go, wow, like a kind of Owen Wilson thing.
It's good.
No, that
from
is exactly
somewhere.
what it is. It's Maya put that GIF up in the Discord a couple days ago, and I haven't gotten it out of my head yet.
Well, watch Loki because he doesn't. He
There we
doesn't.
go.
He doesn't.
It's just Maya's fault, 100%.
Have you seen Loki?
Cool.
No.
Because he's in it and he doesn't say it, but he does say it to the camera at one point for one of the little making-ofs. He's like, I'll say it for you guys, but he doesn't say it. Everyone's hoping he would.
Wasn't in the script.
And there's the
Bad script writing for Owen Wilson.
there's a lightsaber battle where every sound effect, every lightsaber sound effect is replaced with Owen Wilson going "Wow," which is what I thought you were.
Of course there is.
If ever you,
Yeah, that's all 100% is Maya's fault.
if ever you want to have
Pick it
your
up with her.
brain scrambled a little bit, there is someone has re-edited Star Wars, the first film, A New Hope, into alphabetical order. It's quite something.
Interesting.
So it just goes A
Like
A
all
A
the-
A A A
the whole
A
script?
and Akbar,
Oh,
Akbar, Akbar.
dear.
Force. You know, giraffe.
Speaking of nutty editing, I should dig out this video I
dear.
saw yesterday. I think it's quite an old one. You might have seen it before. But someone's spent ages snipping out just very short segments from basketball games where 2 or more people happen to make the exact same motion at the same time, like they both stand up together or they both point and then touch their head in the same way. And they've strung these all together. And the effect is, and said it's ballet music, of course. And the effect is really odd because it looks like it's been tightly choreographed, and actually it's just been very tightly edited.
I haven't seen that yet.
Is there a difference?
Yeah.
Yeah, one
One's
of them.
intentional.
One you have to practice.
You don't need to practice ballet?
Yeah, but you know,
Or editing.
You only, yeah, but you don't have to practice editing. You might spend a lot longer editing. Come on, car.
That's practice.
No.
Right.
No.
I'm well behaved. I didn't ram you. I could have.
Yeah.
But I think you chickened out.
No good.
Yes.
Is he absolutely miles ahead?
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's
Shulker
best.
got the fastest lap.
Shaka did. Whoa! Then you drove towards the wall and then you just pinged out, so you did a bit of a Back to the Future moment then. Have you rebooted your router today?
no, I didn't.
You're pinging out for 5 and 6 seconds at a time. But your voice is okay on Discord.
Where we are going, we don't need cables.
Well, he does. He's going to plug the router in.
This is not a giant game of pasta pigs, Dad.
You're on your side, but you're not touching anything, so that's a 3.
It's worth,
I can't remember.
worth 1.
We did play Past the Pigs on Rec Room, and it was... I mean, it's hard enough to play it in reality, let alone in VR.
There's a really good one on Desktop Simulator, which is obviously got VR support. Maybe we should do that sometime.
I would really like for them to go back to Rec Room and... Not Rec Room, Tabletop Simulator, and really fix it. Like, you don't need to change the way to do it. You just need to make what you have reliable and good, rather than just jamming in more and more and more mod support. Because everything we played was ultra clunky, and half it didn't work. Which is a shame, because...
Well, it was really hard. I think it did... There was a murking mechanism there somewhere, but it's just...
Do you mean in VR or generally?
Mostly in VR, there was just sort of an inconsistency, because the way all the cards worked was the same, and that was really good. But then I'm like, do I trigger or squeeze? Like, VR has standards for how it works, so you don't need to reinvent the wheel. You just, you use the trigger and the grip for everything. And, there's certain... And it's not displaying what to do. But yeah, it was just, unfortunately, it was more frustrating than anything. And we just ended up playing Give Me the Brain because it was simple and it worked really well. Like, we never got secret hits to work.
Other streamers play it and it was miserable for them.
PokerStars VR has added hand gesture support. It's in beta. Played it yesterday. I just about got through a game and then... It's pretty awful, but the promise is there.
I did. There was someone joining on full and I was dodging.
So the promise is there, so the future's bright, but the hand tracking's got to get a magnitude better before you'd actually want to play lots of games like that. But it's very cool being able to point at the menu with your fingers and gesticulate at people. One of the problems comes with there's grab motions and there's pinch motions, which is normally the difference between using the grip button and the trigger button. And but so, for example, to peel up the cards to look at them, normally you just use the trigger button, which makes a pinch motion, as you say, VR standard, and then you just rotate the cards up towards you. When you try and do that with hand tracking, if you don't make a very exaggerated pincer movement with just your finger and thumb, then it takes it as a grip. So if the rest of your fingers are at all curled, then it assumes it's a grip, and so you end up turning the cards over, which is a disaster. So yeah, it needs a lot of work to be good. It's like they're very heavily assuming you're gripping everything when you're not.
I like to point out that you gained nothing by doing that maneuver whatsoever.
Yeah, this car's not fast enough to get away with that. No, it's because I'm really shit at these corners. All of them.
They're very slow corners, all of them. This one's like a 40.
Yeah, and I'm not used to this track at all. We don't play this one a lot because I do cheat on it, and you don't like me cheating.
Well, this one's slow. This one's slow.
That one's not bad. I've kind of figured that one out.
35. And then it's all right for a bit, like nice and flat out. bail off just a little bit more than that, a little bit more than that. No, that's good. And nice and wide here.
Why are we listening to
Hello.
you? You're going slowly. Hey, hey!
What?
Don't squeeze inside.
Yeah,
Of
said you're going
tree.
slowly.
Did you try and share the chicane with me? That was definitely not a sensible move.
Yeah. Yeah, let's watch that back later then. I think you had no idea I was going faster than you.
I did not. But,
There we go then. I even
was
said it.
warning about the
I explicitly
parallel.
said it. No, I didn't. I said, why are we listening to you? You're going slower than me.
that was quite a bit before the corner.
Yeah.
No, that's not a corner.
What, do you think I would slow down once I was going faster than you?
Well, unfortunately there, I mean, okay, probably a racing incident more than anything else, but if you're going to try and share that with someone, you both need to go through it a lot slower.
Never wrong. Never wrong.
No, you can't both take it at full speed. One of you has to chicken out, or you end up with what happened, which is contact.
Yeah, well, we established you didn't know I was there, so...
Or both slow down. Well, there's a horn button.
The amount of side motion is usually who is more in the wrong.
Now, you have to take that one very slowly to share it, I think. Because normally you turn that into a straight. I think Jack and I are just about beginning to manage now is both slowing down, so we both take the corner, which is tricky.
How does that even hear this wretch?
What is what?
Shoka's not here. Shoka?
I'm watching over you, quite literally.
Quietly
Watching
judging.
me freaking be awful at these corners.
Hovering my view above to see the car separations nicely. Although it seems nobody can catch anybody
Yeah,
in time.
yeah, my car's
Because
broken.
I am shit.
Is the subject line correct, by the way,
What?
in the channel?
Everybody's
Thursday. Is it Thursday?
Yeah.
Live for speed. Everyone welcome.
Live for
DOF
speed.
Reality 6 or H6
No, that's not
VR.
that's not the channel.
Oh,
I think so.
that's the stream title.
The only thing we have coming up that's unusual is Aliens Fireteam when it hits Game Pass, which is the 14th, I think.
The 14th.
14th, yeah.
Are you going to give that game from yesterday another shot?
We'll do that next Wednesday, so hopefully they'll fix it. Because it looks like it's quite cool. Just
I
didn't
thought at
work.
the time you were being a little bit unreasonable, angry on Twitter about them shipping it like that. But then later I realised, why is it trying to connect to the server when I'm in offline mode?
Well, you can make it. Apparently, you can make it properly offline, but a game that always plays online
How?
that can't connect to the server. There was a workaround in the forum. Someone said I had to unplug my Ethernet cable. It's like, oh, fucking hell.
Yeah, I can't do that when I'm playing on a streaming service.
Yes. No, it was. Yeah, and it's obviously failing to connect to the server in some way, shape, or form. But that's horrendous. Like, that's just awful. And they had failed to resolve it. And they were like, "Oh, we've tried a few things." I'm like, oh, it's just one of those where, oh shit, it works inside the building, not elsewhere. Grab a laptop, go to the nearest Starbucks, and play it from there. Going, oh no, when we're outside our building, we can't get in. And fix it. At Criterion, we had 8 ISDN lines to the building from 8 different ISPs. So we had a proper internet setup that worked like a real internet setup. Whereas most people would just do testing on a LAN for their internet testing. But we had a really good one. And it was quite tricky getting all those ISDN lines fitted as well.
Yeah, so normally you just put one for one account.
Yes.
Probably one ISP.
Well, we had to get new lines laid in. You know, specific lines for those ones.
Hey.
Hey.
Tad,
No idea.
You just ran them, I saw you.
Tonight, guys.
Okay.
Nope.
I'll catch you tomorrow night, hopefully.
Aw. Sorry.
What's Thursday?
It is Thursday. Golf. Oh, no, probably not. Well, maybe. It was actually pretty good. It was actually quite good. It wasn't like golf with your friends, which was just awful. That golf game was actually enjoyable.
Oh yeah, the golf was brilliant. You should get it, Max.
I haven't got space.
What? Oh, you mean physical space to play it? You just stand in one place.
Oh yeah, there's no. You don't need to swing or anything like that. As long as you can stand up, you can just.
You could play it in an airing cupboard. It's brilliant.
Mini golf. You don't need to swing anyway.
Yeah, you could
You've
just.
got a light in your airing cupboard.
Yeah, you can just angle the club.
Golf in heaven. Here we call it crazy golf, or what do they call it?
Oh, it's mini golf just like normal golf on a very tiny course with no obstacles.
Yeah.
No, but crazy golf's got like windmills and
it's had obstacles.
No, yeah, but mini golf is just normal golf on a very tiny course. But yeah, I would give it a bash, Max. I don't think it'll be a problem. You just need to remember not to flail around. You could probably play it sitting down, to be quite frank. I mean, that's how Esmir played it.
You don't know how much I loathe playing that in real life.
It's I say,
like, you pay your money and you just whack the ball and get round and get done. You know?
Well,
the kids enjoy it, but I don't.
This was funnier because it was a bit more interesting. But yeah, I was surprised how much better it was than golf with your friends, which was genuinely terrible.
All right. Night, guys.
Night.
Have a good night.
I'm confused what the channel topic says, by the way. I thought it was Live for Speed for tonight.
Well, we're playing it now.
Well, yeah, but what did Max think we were playing? Did I get it wrong? Have I messed it up?
I don't
know.
No,
It's Thursday. Thursday, LFS.
It's unclear when it gets updated. It's unclear whether it's recent or not.
Assume it's updated unless I haven't. And assume it's updated unless, you know, I start playing chess and it says we're playing drafts.
I mean, you could use the events system in Discord. As I say, it's got some advantages, like people can click to say they're interested, and you can gauge whether anyone's going to play.
But then I'd have to check it. I'd have to add it every single day. Like I can't just.
Yeah, he's already talked about this.
You can preload it. You just would have to do it each week.
Yeah, but that means for the next year's worth of Live for Speed, I need to add 150 events.
Yeah, but that implies that the schedule stays the same consistently, which it doesn't.
It does.
It's
It does.
every week anyway.
No, it isn't. We've done Live for Speed every Thursday and Friday for like 4 months now, and usually Tuesdays.
Apart from that,
I still miss Open TTD.
Well, I mean, with OTTD, we just kind of. I don't know, we probably need to actually...
Ran out of stuff to do.
Well, we need to bite the bullet and actually play it on hard difficulties above bare minimum. I know.
That's what the Wasteland mod was, I thought. Because that was fucking brutal.
That was.
So I recommend this VR game. It's in development. I've only played a few minutes of it, but it's called T for God. Have you heard of that?
T for God.
T for God. It's
as in tea to drink, or a golf tee, or the letter T?
The first. And it's pretty cool because you're moving around in a game that you would expect to have a big play space for room scale, but it adapts to a much smaller space. Uses that trick where, for example, say there's a pillar in front, say there's a wall to your left. As you walk around the wall to the other side of it, you're now in a different space.
Uh-huh.
So you can, do you know what I mean? So the wall is no longer there, kind of thing. But it's completely seamless. So you can sort of go left turns, right turns, then you step into a lift, you go up a level when you step out. So there's no motion sickness because you're actually taking a few steps forward, turning around, walking back the other way. But now you're in a completely different... And it's really nicely done, like you're stepping out of a train onto a platform, then turning around, getting back into another train and stuff like that.
All right, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting from a kind of well worth looking at as a VR developer, I'd say.
I would like to see some more asymmetrical VR games. I don't know if you've played VR Dino Duo or Panoptic or Eye in the Sky. There's a few, and they're brilliant. Gore.
Yeah, there's a few on
brilliant.
PSVR because the breakout box can be used to display a different view on the TV. So then you can have games where the VR user is playing like a monster who's chasing little people running away from him, and they're all sitting around the TV, seeing the opposite view.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Because you can play Gore on 5-player, and it's absolutely brilliant. I don't know if you play Panoptic or Panopticon. That's awesome. The thing is, the demo is awesome, and it was just perfection. And then for the full game, they added loads of shit, overcomplicated it, and diluted what made the game so good, which was a shame, I felt.
I could upscale the car to be faster.
I'm way ahead of you. We'll do the faster version of the same car. Bear in mind, it doesn't go around corners much faster, so you should still slow down to the same speed for the corners.
I've turned my racing line on.
That
I forgot about that.
There you go, you can join the car now. Why doesn't this have a sunroof?
You can actually look up?
Yeah, of course. I'm in VR. I can look any way I want. Well, that's... Wait, how did you think VR worked, Tad? It's like I can look around and this car has hands, so I'm actually struggling to look left and right because there's massive bolsters by my ears. And this car is a lot more forgiving.
More lively.
Yeah, it's a lot more forgiving with mistakes. If you screw it up, you can put your foot down and you're back in. Whoa! Ahem. Ahem.
It forgives me.
We'll just see what colour the paint is on my car. No, that's not so good.
Imagine if you owned the previous car and then a friend said, "Oh yeah, let me have a weekend with it. I'll upgrade it for you."
Oh, bye.
Go on, Shalka, you first. That was my fault. We didn't.
I thought that wasn't irreparable, but I will try to.
No, I took the chicane both atrociously and much faster than you, and then didn't bleed off enough speed afterwards.
I was saying, imagine if you owned the previous car and you gave it to someone to upgrade over a weekend. When you got it back, it was like this. Be quite pleased.
I would. Well, I would. Although I'd then have a whale of a time trying to convince my insurance company to continue insuring me.
Yeah.
Did you see the little GIF I put up, by the way, when I ended up going with the car insurance company that insures, I will say, proper cars? Like if you've got a McLaren or a Bentley or a Ferrari or Rolls, that's who you go with. So it's not Ms, Mr, Miss, Doctor. It had like Lord Admiral and Brigadier and First Bombardier and Viscount.
Had everything.
Yeah, I was like, oh.
I thought you were a lord anyway.
I am a lord, but I don't generally use it in correspondence.
We'll just add new values every time someone comes with a new value. They don't have anything for the Queen, though, do they?
I don't think you can put yourself down as Queen or HRH. It's for two.
You could be a Queen if you want.
I can't be the Queen though.
But the Queen can be. Who insures her?
Lloyd's, I think.
You sure the country does?
If Queen wants to be customer, it would be quite shame to miss on the business because you don't have the correct title.
Well, the weirdest one I saw, the options were Ms, Miss, Mr, Doctor brackets male, Doctor brackets female. It's like, what?
Mind you, if you do have a fender bender with the Queen and you get out and you go, "Oi, that was your fault, mate," she would just say, "No."
I do love stamps. They're brilliant. They're like
What'd you say?
stamps. I love
No.
stamps. Because they're like stickers
Oh,
with
no.
jobs.
I was waiting for you to say that. That joke was floating around Reddit a day or two ago.
Quiet.
Those tyres slowed me down a little bit.
I do like how much most of your jokes come from r/Tumblr.
No, I just get them from all over the place. Usually it's when it's had a screenshot taken of it, and then it's gone on Twitter. That someone's taken a screenshot of that, and it's gone on back on
Oh yeah,
Imgur.
the circle of life.
Yes. Social media these days is 3 websites just taking screenshots of each other and posting it for points.
Whoa.
Clout. Oh, there go them tires.
Never a good sign. ETA 46 has just updated its controls.
Whoa!
What?
The brakes. You slowed down so much.
Yeah, to the right speed. I haven't got that corner down pat yet. It's quite sketchy if you do. I'm sorry you didn't leave me enough room.
Correct. I'll accept that. I thought you were competent. My mistake.
No, that corner's horrible.
Aw.
You saw what happened the lap before when I took it so fast I ended up messing up the second bit and then ramming Shower.
I've done it perfectly at least twice now, so I feel like I can go full blast. Well, that's a shame. It was going really well.
Yeah, no, you were all over my ass.
Oh,
Yum yum.
No.
yes.
No one clipped that. Oh, man, I'm further
He went
back.
and got himself a paint job.
He went and downloaded a car setup, I'm sure. But now I'm now further back because there's more cars in the race. Tad's having slight pinging out issues today.
Well, that pushed me out the way, so I'm
No,
now nice and in the back and safe.
No one hit
It's
you.
fine.
You just warped off the track
Oh.
somewhere. No one was anywhere near
No,
you.
it felt, or the game made me think someone bumped me from the back.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah. Your client may have thought that, but I'm just saying that no one else did.
See, what had really happened was.
It was the counterfactual bomb that got you.
I'm trying to rearrange my headphones while driving down the straight.
Tell us how that's going for you.
Wobbly. I had to hold the steering wheel still with my knee. Like a salesman going down the motorway trying to light a cigarette. Have you ever thought about getting a cigarette lighter in your car and then carrying a hot dog around and just biting the end off the hot dog and then just cooking the next bit?
What?
Was I not clear?
Never heard that.
Did you
That's a
suffer?
very interesting question.
I have a better question, actually, about nipples.
No.
What? Holy shit, the guy's 6 seconds quicker than anybody else. Yes, I'm sure he's on the same setup. No,
I'm 2 seconds faster.
yeah, but
than
you
him.
fucking cut the corner in an illegal way, so...
I'm gonna reboot the router. Back in a second.
You-
nice and tight and nice and wide. Alright, failed the last half of that. Yeah, so he's getting 53s without cutting the corners.
You're not cheating, you're not trying.
That's not a thing.
And doing the engineering part is not
An army
cheating.
No, but my issue with it, Shalka, is he hasn't done anything. He's gone on to the Liverspeed website and downloaded a car setup that someone else has done. You might as well just download the best lap time in the world and go, this is my lap. Like, you know, in the nicest possible way, none of you, with the exception of possibly Tad, understand vehicle dynamics and could go altering those setups. It's quite a complicated thing. Hence the discussion I had earlier with the guy in the Tesla forum saying that his Tesla was better in the snow than my Impreza. I'm like, dude, this is... I can't
I
even...
could go altering them without understanding the mechanics.
Yeah, but you aren't going to be doing better. There is no particular likelihood this guy has any grasp of vehicle dynamics and has just downloaded a really good setup. In reality, race drivers do not alter the setup of their car. The engineers do. And the engineers give them the best setup for that race. They might say something like, I'd like a bit more acceleration in third, but mostly it's all predetermined. And the engineers analyse the suspension travel. They analyse the red lines and all that, and then they tweak the car accordingly. But the driver certainly doesn't. It's a different skill altogether.
No.
And why is this not a hybrid sport of being the driver and the engineer?
The only thing the driver does for NASCAR is tell him he wants more pucks in his suspension.
My issue is, Schalke, Ben, if I beat you, I've done better than you. No ifs, no buts. If Alcohol Bear beats you, it's because he's got a better setup, or he's a better driver, or both, or neither.
The combination of both. If you refuse to do part of the game, then that doesn't mean that that's irrelevant for the game.
If you and I now go and download two different setups and I beat you, it's the setup that's beaten you, not my skill. That's my issue. It no longer is a game of skill, it is a game of who downloaded the best setup. That's why
Why is there no skill in choosing a setup?
There isn't a skill in choosing a setup. That's not a skill.
Yeah.
That's at worst guesswork, and at best
I got you both.
knowledge. Oh, sometimes it's I mean, how can I put it?
If I use a build order in a strategy game, does that mean that I'm not the winner if the build order wins?
Did you come up with a build order, or did you just copy it off a web page?
I guess that's a line that's meaningful for you. But
yes, it is.
I guess it will flip on that.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is the thing. I mean, when I played World of Warcraft, I played World of Warcraft to the highest level. And we were at the point where I'm like, I don't give a shit what you think about your setup. This is the winning setup for the raids. Go and download it. Because someone has spent an awful lot of time building that setup, and we need every advantage we can get. It's a shame Malcolm's not here, because I think he was present. We had a paladin join our raid, and I'm like, why are you not healing? He goes, I'm a rep pal. I'm like fuck you are. He goes, I'm really good. I'm like, you're not. And he goes, I am. Let me show you. And I said, all right. And I said to him, if you do not come, so rep pal is a DPS pal, a damage paladin. I said to him, if in our 10-man raid, if you are not last at the end of this boss fight, I will let you be ret. And he came in last, dead last, behind the healers. And it's like, yeah, because you think you're good at the game until you sort of come up against other people who've played it an awful lot more. And that's the problem with this, is if you're talking about setups that are affecting your lap by 7 or 8 seconds, then there's no skill. Like, you know, the worst of us in this game are not generally lapping 8 seconds slower than the best. So it's too much of an advantage. And it boils down to the same. There's no skill necessarily, it's who has the best setup. It's like, it's on track day, so on a track day, the cars are of massively varying power, from a Fiesta to a Ferrari. And that's why you don't race with each other, because it's not really about who is the best, it's genuinely about who has got the best car. Even when I quote-unquote raced against a guy with an Impreza, you know, there was two things. Partly I was a lot more experienced than him, but more importantly, my car weighed 600 kilos less than his.
You said that in a real racetrack you start with a sighting lap and you're told to brake here and turn there. Isn't that like taking out the track reading out of that, and everybody's supposed to start with the optimal line?
Not quite. In that, it's more to make sure no one goes, I thought that was a left-hander when it was a right-hander, more than anything else. It's just to make sure everyone is on the same page. They don't usually show you braking zones, but to a degree, the ideal line around a track is not up for discussion. There is a best line around the track. It's really a question of whether or not somebody else is in the way.
So why having the driving line on is not cheating, but taking a good setup is?
I would consider having the driving line to be cheating, but quite frankly, most of you guys need to in every boost you can get. Bear in mind, I've been doing racing games for enormous numbers of hours a day for 10 years of my life. Analysing corners and finding racing lines is something I've just done for a great deal of time, and I don't really struggle with it. Which is why I was quite pleased when I was watching the replays back and I turned the line on to find that I was generally not too far off, which is quite nice. But no, I would consider that to be cheating the same way I would consider braking assist to be cheating. But unfortunately, there are no options for forcing those off, really. And, you know, in the nicest possible way, Jay needs the racing lines because he's not done enough track racing to actually understand about where you should drive and where you shouldn't. That was terrible, for example. Oh. That was really good. Oh, I got away, thank God. I thought you'd have me then.
I was mainly trying to avoid contact, but turns out it was okay for the current corner.
Now, my issue is if I could, as the host, force anyone playing onto the same setup, I would be happy. Doesn't need to be stock. A competitive setup is fine. The important thing is the same. So it's about your skill, it's about your corner and your exit velocity, not your final drive ratio that determines whether or not you go faster down the straight than somebody else.
I guess being able to define the skill check is fine, but then saying that some skill checks are better or more pure or important. No!
Well, as I said, this is why stock car racing is a thing. And this is why people get some people love for the fact there's all the different constructors in F1, and some people really hate it. Because like Ferrari have won, well, they spend more money on the driving than anybody else. Of course they win. Why wouldn't they win? They've just spent more money. And that removes a lot of the purity of the racing. Hello, Italy. Well, you're beating the shit out of us. But that's fine, we're all terrible. Welcome to the stream, by the way. You only race on FBM servers? Well, thank you for joining us. No, we're just discussing, because I say, there's the first part of Live for Speed is learning to drive around. The second part is learning to set up your controls. My issue with pre-built build orders, pre-built character setups is that's not you that's done that. You've gone off. It's like Mindustry, when you just download this perfect little setup. It's not you that's come up with this cool thing. Someone else has. And I won't quite say you're claiming credit for it, because you're not, but I mean, it means I'm now fighting against you and the person that came up with your setup.
Who's in that car behind me?
E, whatever his name is.
Alcohol bear.
The dude I spun off last match.
Whee!
What happened?
Well, I see my...
Joining on full on exceed. Oh no.
I don't know, I guess I used something as a ramp on the left-hand side.
Was it Tad?
No, I think it was the curve.
Would you like to restart? We're on the first lap.
That seems mean to do that. I'll just take my lumps.
Sugar lumps.
It was entirely my fault, so...
Of course.
Hopefully it didn't affect anyone else as well.
Oh no, me and Eve spun out as well.
Oh really?
Because I came from my cheaty bullshit and came up on the track right on the side of him, and we both spun out.
I had a feeling old moment today. I had to do a little bit of work on the Simpsons arcade game we've got, and it's 30 years old.
Oh man.
Yeah. I know we had to do something on, what was it called? Not Space Cadet, but that game was from 1980s. That game was 41 years old.
You only should feel old if you remember playing on it when it came out new.
I remember the Simpsons game everyone was very excited about it as well. Same with the Turtles thing. You're like, oh man, that was my, that was my thing. It was
your jam.
Yeah. You don't want to get into that mindset. Then you start thinking about how long after World War II you were born and things like that. It gets really depressing.
Well, it's the worst one. It's Back to the Future. If Back to the Future happened today, he'd jump back to the late 80s. No, oh god, he'd jump back to 81? Yeah, he'd jump back to 91, wouldn't he? 80. No, how far back did Marty McFly jump? It was 20 years, wasn't it? No, he jumped back to 1954 from 1984. So 30 years. So he jumped back to 1991.
I do think it's funny that the future depicted him getting fired by a dot matrix printer.
Yes.
Right, so, the 50s seems archaic, but to them it would just seem like the 90s did to us.
Well, to be fair, we've had such a rate of progress of technology, which I don't really think is slowing down very much. I think that's why a lot of it is, it seems so old.
You see the memeing picture of we've come full circle, and it was a tablet desk phone.
Oh, I saw that, yes.
Android running into it.
Yes.
It's like we've come full circle. It's like, yeah, I guess we have.
So yeah, how long after the war were you born?
40 years? No, 30 years. 32 years. So I've been alive longer than the gap between my birth and World War II, yes. So I should have correctly responded which war.
Well, the same one that I mentioned a minute ago.
Well, that doesn't matter. Did you mean the Great War or the war to end all wars?
The World War II isn't the Great War.
No, that was
That's why you
war.
added
I
the war
watched.
to end all wars.
I watched the sister documentary to Galaxy Quest last night.
Sister Act 2?
They've got a Flash Gordon one, which was really good, interesting. You remember Flash Gordon?
Gordon's alive?
That's the one. So, two fascinating things. As a child, Brian Blessed would pretend to be Voltan, so he was very pleased when he got to actually play him. And Sam Jones was apparently such a fuck to working on the sets. At Christmas, they broke up and they never invited him back, put in a stunt double for a few shots, and then dubbed his voiceover entirely, so he didn't do any of his own voice acting in the film. It's all dubbed.
Oh yeah, one of the exhibits we seized was a photo of David Bellamy, like an actual print of a photo of David Bellamy.
What? Why?
Another 80s icon. No, just in someone's property.
Oh.
Visiting a school.
Ah. I remember that thing he did with trains. David Bellamy would get shrunk down to be a tiny man on a tiny train.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know what
Terrible
it was.
blue screen.
But I don't know what it was. All I know is that he was shrunk down to be a tiny man on a train set.
Well, it's probably a bottom
And I
race
shrunk the
thing.
kids.
No.
It's an educational program or something.
Education, yeah. Tad, you can't even drive into me properly at the end of the race.
Better than DJ just flying off into the sunset over here.
Whee! Can't reset will cause a yellow
Yeah.
flag. Can't reset would hit another car. Wow, I've never seen those messages before. Oh wow, look at our lap times though. Lowest was 54.1, highest was only 56.3. That's very close.
Well, that was because I only did the first lap, wasn't it?
Well, your lap time wouldn't have got worse.
That's my point.
But no, but it was. I wasn't saying yours was crap. I was pointing out how close they all were. I don't know how to pronounce your names. I'm just going to call you Alcohol Bear. My point was more, I'm very surprised that Live for Speed does not allow you to force either a specific car setup or stock car setup. And I do not understand why it doesn't. Stock car racing is a thing, and modified car racing is a thing. Whoa, what happened there?
Tad pinged out.
Did I? Because he was
Yeah, you
grinding
vanished.
into the back of me until he.
Yeah.
I guess I got enough packets back in that he realized that he was inside of me.
Yeah, I saw you in my rearview mirror disappear briefly. Oh my god.
I'm also very surprised the game doesn't have tyres across that bit to stop that happening.
Nope.
In reality, if you hit a sand trap at those speeds, the next thing that'll happen is you'll be picking your face up off the steering wheel. Like a sand trap slows you down very quickly. That's the point of them.
That's why I miss it completely. I go on the grass on the outside of it.
Clean barge.
Yeah, I skipped the sand part completely for that reason.
But-
It does steal your speed.
Then it should put tyres on it. I'm genuinely surprised that they haven't. That this game is still in active development. Because the new tyre models come out.
Oh yeah, they never emailed me back though.
Oh, that fucks. Just reply to your email going, "Oi, I pay your wages."
Sand is not annoying enough. Need to make the sand worse.
Whoa, break.
No,
break.
if you get stuck in there, you're done. Like, I've had to pit because the sand is just so unusable. Like, it's good sand. It's not the sand's fault. It's the fact that that bump in the road means that I jump over most of it, wind up in the grass, and then I'm fine.
Yes, give that room.
I gave room.
Which is why I like doing it.
Yeah, we both did.
Yeah.
Yeah, shut your face.
Yeah. God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one asked you. You're not omnipotent. You're not my real dad.
Parallel. Losing parallel. And
Oh,
then a
beautiful.
clean barge.
Oh, I just did it again. Didn't manage to flip the car this time though. Just
Nice
cheated a
clean.
little bit.
And everybody's nicely separated.
Can we ask Schalke for things for Christmas as well?
That's Santa Claus you're thinking of.
Is Krampus Finnish?
What?
Which,
Or some sort of Scandinavian?
That's Holland.
Or is it German?
well, yeah, we have like, there's an animal associated with what would be Santa Claus. There was like a Finnish tradition where the visitor was supposed to be creepy or like frightful.
The
And I guess it got mixed
outside
up.
is frightful. Let hits now, let hits now, let hits now.
Ooh. That was quite questionable barging, but nobody wiped out.
Keep locking the wheels up on the way in.
And where do you think that Santa Claus lives?
My imagination.
No.
A mall.
So you don't know that he lives in the
Lapland.
Coke advertising office?
Fell or what's there's a small mountain type in the tundras, which
The
I don't
Fortress
know.
of Solitude.
Well, a little like that, but I guess it's not solitude because there's a lot of gnomes around, or I don't know what's the equivalent in
Elves.
English.
Elves.
Uh,
There's a film.
Yeah.
It's called by Will Ferrell. It's not called Gnomes. It's called Elf. I've just realised I think I turned my bass shaker on. I have not. I knew there was something missing.
If there's only elves living there, can it be a desert?
No, hold on. Because deserts are tundra, but I'm not sure if tundra are deserts.
Well, it means there's no one living there.
No, tundra is nothing can grow.
No,
there.
that's what desert means.
I thought desert had to be hot, had no water. I can't remember now.
No, it means like a desert island. It just means there's no one living there.
That's deserted island.
That's what desert means.
But people,
I guess
but people live in the desert.
Geological is different.
Third island.
Well, it's not a desert then.
Well, have someone lives in
What?
the desert. What do you call it then? Just a city.
Yeah. Population 1, which is a great game.
So Arrakis is not a desert planet then.
They do harp on that quite a bit in the movies, don't they? And the books.
Is that from Gene?
Yes.
I only
All of
recognise
them.
it from the game.
Right.
Gene
But
2.
but people live in the desert. It is not deserted.
Yeah.
But they don't count.
The Finnish word refers to openness
Whoa, sorry.
rather than emptiness.
If it's covered in whipped cream with a strawberry on top, that's a dessert.
Mmm.
As in the phrase, just desserts.
No. That is a different etymology.
It's deserts as well.
Hmm?
The phrase it is
Just
nothing.
desserts means is to do with deserving it.
Yes, yeah, single S, not two S's. But nothing to do with living in sand, which is what I thought it was until fairly recently.
Unfortunately, Schalke wasn't watching that from above.
Yeah.
But
I
okay,
was
No one to
ignoring
appeal
the
to.
wrong,
well,
probably.
future Schalke might be able to.
Oh, damn it. It's like Ceiling Cat. Future Schalke is watching you. I think Schalke should change his avatar to Ceiling Cat. Oh dear.
Oh,
I've made quite a mess.
yes, unfortunately you all made a mess, and I couldn't get past because you were just all being messy in my way.
Well, sucks to be at the back.
Bad idea, Schalke.
New peanut butter. Get off the grass.
I'm trying to make use of that. This is a front-wheel drive with lots of power to pull you back out of an understeer.
Is it working?
I'm getting there. Front-wheel drive cars are, of course, the devil, so I don't enjoy doing it, but I'm getting there.
I've just messed up Schalke's day.
Yeah.
Well, no, you were responsible for that bit.
Yeah.
That was like an hour later that you did that.
Where is Lapland? Is it in Finland? Or is it a country of its own right?
Yeah.
Or is it
Yeah.
made up?
I think it's
Lapland
between
is very real.
Chestland and Groenland, isn't it?
Only if you sit down. Oh, this is just called Legland. Like,
That German town that doesn't
did you
exist.
No, I
just
think
say?
you're probably right.
Did you just say between my chest and my groin? Because that's not how the song goes.
It's not how any song goes.
My groin
The
bone's
lap bone
connected
connected to the.
So, sorry, Schalke, is Lapland a real place? Is it a province of Finland?
It's like there's a point, and north of that is Lapland.
Is it a different country, or is it a province of Finland?
It's more of a geographical area. I guess the Sami people are more spread out between Sweden, Norway, and Finland, and are like maybe a distinct ethnicity, but don't have a national state.
So Lapland is to Finland as Scotland is to England.
Maybe a little like something like that. I don't know about the background of the English people. I guess Vikings at some point did kick out the natives. So I guess the England are the invaders and the Scottish are like the native people. I don't really know.
My point was that Scots don't have their own identity, they just got a fancy accent.
Don't Scots have like self-autonomy or like some kind of regulatory thing?
They've basically just got Greg's.
Devolution.
And their own notes. You can imagine Scotland being a country. Scotland has a negative economy. It's not going to work. It's propped up quite severely by England.
Yeah, but they want to be in the EU.
Well, yes, but you can't. But EU will not allow a country with a negative economy to join.
Of course, they would need to balance that.
Well,
but they let in the Balkans.
I don't know anything about the Balkans. Other than I feel that they were overused on Star Trek.
If that's true about, I'm going to say something offensive here to be provocative. If that's true, what you just said about Scotland, then why do they even say anything? Why are they even? They should not be allowed to speak.
Well, when Cornwall voted to leave Brexit, and then we got it in, the Cornish government, the Cornish Council, went to the UK government and said, we are still going to get the same amount of EU money as before. I think Cornwall gets 800 million a year just to balance out its economy, and the government went, no, like, that's EU money. Why, you know, that we're not getting that anymore.
Change your map.
Oh, okay. If you want to hit all end, I'll pick another map.
Ooh.
What time is it?
Almost 11 where you're at.
Let's do the which is the one that we liked? Which one was it? Was it? No.
Did you see my registration plate, by the way?
It's FBM.
Yeah, the thing about FPN and Blackwood, I mean, we'll probably go for Blackwood for the end of the evening, but we have done it quite a lot to understatement. Let's go in the XRT then. Oh, that's the rear-wheel drive one. No, I meant the RB4. So we're going to slow four-wheel drive one. It's okay, you don't need to make a decision. I will just force you all into the right car. Oh! So this has got ABS but no throttle cut. And then we'll go up to the FXR. And then we'll do the FBM, don't worry. And you can show us how good you are. Okay, I see a Schalke and a Tad. Okay, we can start now. I'll just drive.
At least get a good lap in so we can remember the track.
Doesn't work for me.
And this is the one with the insane corner. And then the insane chicane.
Insane in the chicane.
Then I think it's the one with the straight arm.
I was wondering if someone would, and I'm really upset someone did.
Well, that's not victims free.
That was perfect. Because
well, when I looked up,
pushed me off in the right direction.
When I looked up, you're facing the right direction. You were off. I was like, wait, what happened there?
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, I'm ready to start now.
Yeah.
That made me laugh the other day when you were like, this is my server and I'm all powerful and can everyone please vote to restart? Over there.
I've got a bit better at that now. But it's less effort if you all don't get distracted at the end of a race, and instead actually vote to have another go. As I have to type using my mouse.
Fate worse than death. At least you don't have to mouse using your
Please,
keyboard.
no
That really
squares.
is bad.
Where did you come from?
Behind. You came from
Marking
behind.
Ridge.
Slower than that, Tad. I like this car. You can get it properly sideways and not crash. Oh, what happened to Tad?
Yeah.
He got it properly sideways and crashed.
Yeah,
No,
just-
properly sideways, but more sideways than I could recover from without losing speed.
I concur.
I wonder if this is what my Impreza is going to feel like when I get the Tesla,
Ah.
because this feels sluggish. No, this is because this is the closest car in the game to
Chunky.
the car that I drive, but changing gears and don't have enough power yet because I'm outside of the boost threshold and all of that.
No, too
We
hard.
all did that.
Oh!
We literally all did that. What?
Well, it was a little bit on purpose, but it doesn't normally go that badly.
For everybody. That was pretty funny. I watched everyone bounce off the wall, and then I bounced off the wall.
Oh, my steering is
Yeah, I
sorry. It's going.
But it's not.
I do like the way this game simulates broken car. That's one of the best bits of the force feedback.
That was. Did you play Monster Truck Madness on a force feedback steering wheel?
I think I've ever played it.
Oh, because that was the game that came with my sidewinder steering wheel, and that game just used to punish you. It used to properly chuck the wheel left and right as hard as it could. But when you broke the car, you could barely do anything with it because it would really punish you. And it's like it would be, but you had a button in the middle. So when you got a flat tire, what I would do is I'd hit the button to turn it off force feedback, which they kind of negate the point of having it. But it was almost impossible to win against the AI because they had no such problems.
Yeah, they didn't have force feedback.
I'm not being very fast, but I am being consistent and safe. I know, novelty factor.
Wow.
He did it again!
Yeah. I still hear myself doing it. I just don't care.
Wow.
Show my age here, but wasn't Nigel Mansell known for sounding particularly boring whenever he spoke?
Yes, and then the car blew up, caught fire, but I still went over and kept
I nearly
driving.
died.
Yeah, and it's just terrifying, blood everywhere, but I carried on and won race.
Wouldn't race.
Won race.
Double Nice is back.
What have I done to this car?
Well, that's why I'm being careful, because if you do mess up too hard, you're going to end up with...
Oh, it's not Esmir.
No, it's Esmo 6969.
Yeah, or not Esmir, as I call them.
Oh, I missed the pit. Why is the pit laid there?
It's where the sign is saying pits.
Yeah, but it sneaks up inside of a corner.
I think it should say this is
No, I've
absolutely
got-
the pits.
So now I feel like I've got malfunctioning pneumatics
Oh.
for my suspension.
So they're allowed to say Odeon
Because
then?
I'm just bouncing.
I did wonder why it says Odeon, because they purposely made it very British, and that's fine for everything else. But, you know, potentially they do have sponsorship from Odeon. Because they've got Castrol, ATL, BMW. Yeah, I was surprised at the Odeon sign. Even more so, it's reflective, which annoys me. That means they've got a reflective shader. They don't use it.
Alright, I doubt they've got sponsorship. They might have permission.
But they've got BMW sponsorship. That's for definite. I think that's why a lot of the reason the game still is developed. How are you upside down on the inside of the corner?
I have no idea.
Well, were you not there?
Yeah. My car was broken earlier on.
Well, now you're upside down, I can see why. You don't have a drive shaft or any suspension.
Oh.
It's as if they didn't...
You?
Well, it's as if they didn't expect you to roll the car very much.
Man, 45-second penalty.
Drive shafts are for shit cars anyway.
Are there any single motor four-wheel drive and EVs? There must be. But you need to then run 3 differentials. It'd probably be easier to run 2 motors.
Good luck getting your 45-second ban on me now, Gabe.
I should probably actually look that up. I'm curious now. Oh dear. So, alcohol moose, alcohol bear. You gotta wait for the light to go green before you accelerate.
To go green?
To go green.
Lies and slander. That isn't Esmea? Are we sure?
Yes, it's ESMA 6969.
Okay.
It's not as me.
Don't jump the lights.
3, 2,
Not gonna work. I don't have my finger on the button anyway. Get out of here with that shit.
Go.
No.
Go. Go.
Oh, fuck off.
No. Stop.
Oh, I didn't know the lights. I went and
You didn't do it.
you shouted go, and for the 3rd time I went, oh, I probably should.
I made you all go. Power of speech.
No one got hurt with it, so you made the turn green with that one.
So Esma just clipped Schalke. I can get alongside Izzard, but only in such a way that it's just going to go very wrong. Oh yes, you have the same number plate as last week, and I was disappointed because you're not driving a red car.
Well, I wanted to put out of time, but that doesn't fit.
Oh.
Although I considered leaving it as out of time, because that would be funny in its own way.
If you spell it with 1 T, you can say out of Tim. It's probably
It's,
funnier.
oh no, it's spelled with 2 T's. No, hang on.
People are gonna
Yeah,
think you're
it's got 2
Canadian.
T's, isn't it? No, hang on a minute. In Back to the Future, it's just OATA.
Yep, I'm 90% sure it's an 8-letter number plate, which is... Oh no, that'd be 9, wouldn't it? I've got it
it's
upstairs, I
14.
can check. Whoops.
Movie prop.
I've got the Lego set.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I googled it when I was trying to type it.
No, I think you're right. I think it is a single T, because that'd be 8 letters. And this
Which doesn't fit in this.
Jesus.
You can do OTA. You can go OTA.
Not you. Those two.
I spent a whole race trying to make
Pulled
it
off
fit and I
some
couldn't.
ridiculous overtakes.
Yeah, got a lot of touching going on.
Couldn't make it fit, Adam.
Oh, well, spit on the end.
Nobody clicked that.
Jesus.
I'm both amused and saddened when YouTube keeps recommending me Sean Locke videos. Oh, Schalke, that was nearly amazing. If you were
No, Todd.
3 inches
Freeze.
further, 3
Victims
inches
freeze.
further, that would have been absolutely
You can blame Schalke for that.
the
You
most
should wait.
astounding
You
overtake.
should not get to drive off. In fact, I'm going to do that to you. There, fuck off. You deserve a little bit of wreckfesting there.
Oh, now you're running off.
Just
so
checking
you
out the cones.
into you.
Just checking out the cones.
Oh no, he's coming for me. I don't want to face the consequences of my actions. So you go and scurry into the corner.
Yeah.
Fucked around,
What a douche.
found out.
So not Esmea and alcohol are fighting it out.
That's fine. Hopefully they just knock each other out.
And Ram,
They're not playing.
65.
They're not playing
Oh, one contact. Let's see
Mind the wall
if we get a
first.
combo of 3.
Yes, the wall has you now.
Oh, yellow flag.
And
I'm through.
some
And that
okay.
wall.
Oh, that was some
Where'd you
luck.
go?
I want to say good control, but I think it was more luck than anything else.
Oh, wait. Damn it.
Found me? Have you found me? Look through your windscreen. There I am.
You disappeared for a minute there.
Yes, I was overtaking.
No, like, I lost your packets for a minute there.
With the shipping thing, hopefully lots more people won't be saying that.
With the what thing? Shipping thing?
If packets won't be arriving time for Christmas, maybe because of all the ships are lining up.
Oh yeah, America's got the entirety of the shipping world on lockdown right now. It's super awesome.
What do you mean? On lockdown? As a COVID
There
thing?
are a
Or-
ton of ships just hanging out in our ports.
Oh, yes. And do you know what Biden has done? And the result of it, because it's fucking awesome. He's now fining the ports $100
Oh, yeah.
per day per shipping container.
I thought that was California.
No,
I thought that was Mayor Doofus in California
and
doing
do you know
that,
what
not
suddenly?
Biden.
Do you know what suddenly happened? All the ports have started
You
moving.
got unstuck?
They've got unstuck suddenly. Wow, what a surprise!
But you know what happened while they were all sitting there twiddling their thumbs?
Don't know.
One of the shipping containers' anchors caught a pipeline.
Oh dear.
They covered that story up real fucking quick, but there was a couple TikTok videos of the oil bubbling
I haven't heard of
up
that one.
going, oh, that looks like a problem. Yeah, they kept that one quiet.
No, I have been fascinated because I believe a lot of these logistics issues are people refusing to pay anything other than bargain basement prices, because I've actually been following shipping recently because of the car, and it's interesting because Tesla's spending a lot of money shipping cars, like more than other manufacturers will, because they want to hit records for this quarter. And that's why this thing in America's the similar thing, because they were starting to punish the shipping companies for refusing to make anything other than the maximum profit. The sooner we get robotic trucks delivering everything, the better.
Well, you're buying a car that can drive itself.
No,
Somewhat.
I'm not in the UK, not even slightly.
Hey, there you go.
But
You're welcome.
So Tad, you know in the
Thank
US you don't really have a driving test so much as just turn up and you get a license. Your approach to legislation is very similar. So you can't have full self-driving in the UK or the EU. There's only one level 3 car on the market, and it can't be used in Europe. It's the Audi A8, I think it is, and you can use it in Korea. Somewhere else, it's something weird like Latvia. Like there's 2 countries that you can use it full self-driving. You don't need to touch the steering wheel at any point during the journey, but you must be present and paying attention.
In Korea?
In South Korea, yeah. South Korea is very, very.
That's...
Oh no, South Korea is very, very on the ball with technology.
Yeah, well,
because if
of
you're
course
not
they
quick
are.
enough, you
But
get
it's
shot
more...
by a massive doll.
Those roads aren't very...
Seen that documentary?
They've got a lot of people on those roads, and it's all Asian drivers.
Yeah.
And all that implies.
Hence the computers are better at it.
What? Or it implies to a racist.
What kind of prejudice am I supposed to understand?
You
from
say that, but I've driven on those roads.
Yeah, but the
I
point
got-
the point is the Audi A8 is licensed for use there. Self-driving cars are better than people drivers. The more the better. Yeah, I'm going to give that guy one more warning, by the way. That's it. Like, he just barged through and then slammed into the back of it. You know, he...
Go on then. Warn him then.
I did.
Better do it now.
You just pinged out a little bit there, Izzard. I could be faster than all of you around this corner, but it does mean there's going to be a coming together. Okay, here's a job pinging out again.
Hey, DJ.
Wow.
Yeah, you pinged out and then teleported back inside Tad. Nice and gently, people, around the first couple of corners.
Someone else just ping out then.
No, you're all good. Dude! Again he's doing it. Again! The thing is, he did this last time he was on the server, if memory serves. So you've had your warning, now you get your kick. And I said you had warnings. You had ample warning not to do that. Not you, Alcohol Bear. You're very well behaved. We think that's what your name means. Schalker is foreign like you, and he says that your name is Ethanol Bear, which I assume means drunken bear rather than ethanol bear, because that is a little bit too much of a chemistry lab.
Shaka, what's it like being foreign?
Everyone's foreign. If you're not British, that's how it works.
I know. Exactly. Shaka, why do you have an accent?
I love it when Americans say I don't have an accent. That's my favourite one.
But don't!
Because unlike other people, I have a native language. This is different from the international dealing language.
You have a what now?
No.
I have a primary language and a secondary language.
Yeah, so do I.
Do any of you have
Yes.
what's your secondary language?
Bad English.
Dialects don't count.
No. Lady, I only speak two languages, English and bad English.
You haven't heard some American accents then? Or Welsh.
But the point is, Tad, an American singer doesn't have an accent. It's like, what? What, you don't have a Midwest accent or a Bronx accent or a Texan accent? Like, even within your country, you have massive diversity of accents.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, the Welsh accent's beautiful. What are you talking about?
I can't do it.
Well,
I just sound like I'm being
the accent. It's a good accent. It's just you don't understand a word of it.
I could do one thing in Welsh that's not offensive, but I'm afraid only Izzard will get it, but even he might not be old enough. If I just went...
I wonder if Welsh VR users have to wipe their lenses more often.
What?
Or Liverpudlians, for that matter.
Why? Oh, pinged out.
Just because of all the sort of guttural pauses and explosive nouns and explosive consonants, rather.
So if I said push to cuff, do you have any clue what I'm doing? Push to cuff, push to cuff, push to cuff. Or is that before your time? No, you don't remember Ivor the engine?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the noise Ivor made. Push to cuff.
Yeah, it was shit.
But narrated by a Welshman. You are suffering intermittent teleporting, by the way.
Well, that's okay.
It's not, because I'm right behind you, so every time you warp out, I need to brake a bit so I don't teleport back in inside you. I guess it's okay for you.
Yeah.
But it means that I can keep up with you,
Great.
and I appreciate that.
You're alright today, Tad.
Yeah.
That is the downside of 5G.
Mom's outside, so they're still eating up the internet.
Have you tried waxing your modem to make it go faster?
I think I've sung it a couple songs. Like, I don't know what you want me to do. Can I overclock it? Because I'll water cool that bitch if I need to.
It's unlikely that it's overheating.
No. It's designed to be at a specific temperature. Like our old modem ran hot.
Oh,
This
mine
one
does,
doesn't seem
but...
to run nearly as hot.
Well, it's probably because you don't have enough bandwidth for it to actually
No.
run hot. Trying to get past Mr. Disaster area here.
Yeah, that was bad driving.
You bounce on, I'm like trying to get past that, just hitting you.
Yeah.
I honk my horn at him real good, just in case.
Thank you, that's appreciated. That always helps.
Yep.
Oh, what a drift! Look at that, perfect.
In VR, you can stick your head out the window and shout Roadhog as well.
Bus wankers! Oh, Schalke, good lap.
So,
What was that?
Is there an established Finnish accent?
No,
You tell us.
I can.
Could you
I can
tell
do a
what the features are?
No, absolutely. If I only know your accent because I know Finnish people. But my previous Finnish friend would go, when he didn't know something, he was thinking, he'd go, oh, blah, 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 blah. So he'd be like, oh, go down the road and then turn blah, 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 left. And that was his thinking noise, which I assume was a Finnish noise, but apparently it was just a his noise. I'm trying to remember his name.
Weird.
I don't remember his Warcraft name.
That's good enough.
Tuomo. He's a nurse.
You sure he wasn't a Murloc?
Yeah, he could have been. I can do Swedish though.
Uh-oh. Cut the stream.
Hurdy flirty. No, I can't. I'm laughing. No, the best bit, there's a video of the Swedish chef doing his Swedish chef thing, and the top comment is, I think you all should know, I am from Sweden, and he is not really speaking Swedish.
No.
Because then he's like, boingy boingy spring chicken. Hey do fleur dooby doo scrooby doo beauty boo doo 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 bork bork bork. Ah, thank you, Andre. What's happening is the motion rig sometimes moves my mouse a bit, and I don't see what happens because also I've got the VR on. I do apologise for that. Let me just check it's okay.
The VR song?
No, so what happens is when my mouse moves to the left of the screen, it shows my my taskbar. It blocks part of the game. What are you all doing? But
Fixing stuff.
Trying to fix you, and then in the process, screwed myself up too.
What I might do is
Oh, I got you right. Awesome.
what I might do is get an inline switch for my where's the exit one? Oh. Apparently it says there's no signal. Well, as long as you can see the picture. Actually, why don't I just look at my laptop? There we go. There we go. Yeah, what I could do with is an inline switch for my trackball, which turns the trackball off when I don't want it. So Esma.
Come on, we can get everyone.
What, everyone upside down?
Get everyone the right way.
Side up.
Now.
You did the same thing I did.
It's like SnowRunner when everyone falls over. Game over.
Or it's
You know,
like
I miss SnowRunner.
Cars where they're cow tipping.
I want to play SnowRunner again, but there's too many other games I want to play more.
Well, Esma is in the front, so we shouldn't have any problems from him.
Bloody hell, Tad!
Wait. Ramming.
So, Shaq, I have overlap, but I don't think it's going to go very well if I try and share that with you. It's too tight a corner.
Ugh.
Hey!
Thank you, DJ.
That was my victim's freeze beep. Oh, beautiful! I'm quite pleased I fit through without ramming Schalke. I think it was quite close. Yes, I can see my mouse cursor turning up because it's being jiggled around by the rig.
Can't see Tad, but I can hear him hitting the wall.
Maybe we should have put a
But not my horn?
bell around his neck. Whoops.
The thing is, a lot of the time when you
Too
slam into
fast.
that wall, it doesn't punish you too badly. So,
No.
It does with damage. You might not lose speed, but you'll probably pick up damage.
And it'll start to cut into your
damage,
tires
damage.
and pop your tires.
It'll buff out.
It does. As soon as you drive into the pits. But the pit on this... Oh.
Touch face.
Tad, you're crashed. Never mind.
Pit on this map. No, I'm not.
Oh, right. Well, just going past the pit entrance now. So.
Pit Schmidt.
Yeah. Really, really inconvenient spot.
Well, you're not supposed to go into the pits. The goal is don't
Unless
pit.
you've made the map long enough.
Be fast. Okay, I've caught up with Ethanol Bear. Feel free to tell me how I should say your name, because I can't say Etanolikahu every time I say anything.
You just did.
But I'm probably saying right.
Yeah, close.
Some
You said every time.
in there. I can do. I can do the Dutch phlegm, but I can't roll my R's.
What?
It's best I can do, but I sound like a tiger purring.
Not much.
I thought that was the whole point.
Yeah, but I can't do it very well. I can't go, like,
Oh.
yes, Skarviniv. I can't roll it properly. I do have sweets in my mouth, which probably doesn't help either right now.
Wait,
Oh, you're on the ginger?
You saying you can't roll your R's?
Not very well, no.
I saw a video earlier of someone discovered that their sister, an adult sister, can't jump.
What?
And
Oh yeah, I saw that already.
did you see that?
She hops on each foot, yeah.
It was breaking her brain, the idea that you could push off the ground with both feet at the same time.
Yeah.
So she was doing a kind of a hop skip thing.
What?
It's kind of sad and funny.
What?
Yeah.
But well, make
Yeah.
her jump
Doesn't
from
make
one
any
plank
sense.
to another.
But she would do the same thing. You could see her brain processing it, and she was like, right, so I've got to sort of push off with one foot and then quickly change onto the other foot.
To the other one. To push off on that one. Yeah.
It's like her whole life.
Very weird.
And people sort of doing armchair detective work saying, oh, maybe she never did PE at school because she was heavy and stuff like this. You know?
There was a fascinating video of, I want to say Iran, it might not have been, but it was, I think it was Iran troops, and they were being taught to do star jumps by the US instructor, and they'd never done them before. They did not know how to do it. It was amazing. Like, they do the legs and then stop and then do the arms rather than doing at the same time. Like, they'd never done them before. And it's the weirdest video. It looks like aliens or robots are learning to do physical exercises via machine learning. It's utterly baffling to watch. I've never heard of somebody who can't jump. How would she like jump up to, like, you know when you jump in the air to hit the top of a door frame? How would she do that then?
What do you mean when you hit the top of a door frame? Who
Don't
does
have
that?
anyone who's cool.
Needs to jump. No, who needs to jump to do that?
I'd say that's a very bad time to jump.
Okay. What happens if she wanted
So you got
to
the
hit...
tall person, the confused person.
What happens if she wanted to hit a pinata that's in the air and too high? How would she jump? She couldn't? She would just go like...
Waited for them to drop it down far enough down for her to swing at it.
I
Yeah.
I guess actually using stools.
No, because, I mean, I can train Dora to do things just by hovering treats in the right place, so surely we could do the same thing to this nice lady. Like, she likes...
Do you normally need to jump to reach a pinata? I thought the idea was they were just suspended at
Yeah, but
convenient heights
I'm trying to think
to
of
make it fun.
I'm trying to think of a semi-everyday reason you would jump other than just for the...
Oh, you only jump up and hit pinatas every other day?
No, I mean, it's a rare thing, but it's something you might do. But other than that, you don't tend to jump very much. How does she go?
Only if the party organiser's an arsehole.
So, hold on. Describe to me again, slowly. If she came to a puddle that's longer than she could step
You
over...
need to see the video.
But,
yeah.
But what would she do? She would just not? Just go, it's impossible. No human could do that.
I think she just wade into it.
I have an image of like fishing with the forward leg and then like trying to shift your weight forward.
I can't picture this poor girl.
All right, next time I crash, I'll find it.
I can't watch it because I'm in VR and projector's off and all those things.
Just watch it on your phone.
Which is on the other side of the room, and I'm strapped into a chair. Actually, you're in
You're
first place.
practically not even on the internet right now.
I know, it's nice. You're in first place, by the way. Now's
No,
a
it
great
isn't.
time
Sounds
to go and
awful.
check. This is ironically one of my gaps from technology. I can't glance at anything. I'm having to do nothing but this.
Being disconnected from the internet sounds like absolute hell.
Well, I had to do that a while ago when I went to that stag do where there was no signal. Not just all the signals went bad.
How did you survive?
We went for a bike ride and then had a barbecue and then had to pass out because we were knackered from the bike ride.
Right, but what was going on Twitter? You don't know.
This is true.
You didn't care either.
But how I now know who I'm supposed to cancel?
And when people say, you know, going on a technology detox, I say, fuck off.
No, I do occasionally, but for me a technology detox is I'm just going to sit up on my Xbox and play games and not have my phone in the same room. So it's not much of a technology detox, it's more of a, you know, this week I'll eat pork, not steak, rather than, ooh, it's a bit close. That was
Isn't detox for chemicals rather than...
it's
Well, exactly.
wow.
More for your brain.
I mean,
Oh dear,
There's
didn't leave enough room, hit Izzard.
there's a lot of nonsense on the internet about when it comes to toxins, isn't there? Like, take this magic potion that will remove toxins in your bloodstream. And...
Potion master, give me your strongest potion.
Is that a song? Is that what you say at a bar? Tad, how
I think
tall
it
are
was
you?
6?
6 what?
6 foot even.
Well, what's that in real money?
6'0".
Okay, but like...
I have no idea how much that is in centimeters. You're on your own.
182, 183.
No,
something like that.
I don't. I can't measure heights in centimeters. No, like if you measure it in,
Alright.
you know, how many washing machines tall is that, for instance?
Let me put it into Reddit. There's a bot that does that.
I know. I love that bot. It's like 100
That
miles.
bot is ridiculous.
It's like 100 miles is the same length as 721 Millennium Falcons. It's like, oh, I love you, bot. You're so unbelievably useless.
How tall are you in hands?
Hand is 4 inches. Oh, I'm not a horse.
I did see a T-shirt, and the caption was, surely there was a better way of phrasing it. It was a horse T-shirt, and it was, pleasure is 14 hands between my legs, and then a picture of a horse.
God. That's your own fault for naming your horse pleasure. Get out of here with that.
We'll go to the XR.
Speaking of horses, my
whatever
mom
it is.
has one of
Your mum has one of
FXR.
the tallest horses in the world? Most horsiest faces?
What?
Tell us about your mother.
Secretariat? No, she's got one of the grandchildren of Secretariat, one of the most well-known American racehorses.
Never heard of it.
Mm.
Here are the
Yeah,
horses
I've
I
heard
know.
of
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Here's
That's
the
why, that's why I put American on there.
Horses I've heard of. Black Beauty.
Red Rum.
Artifacts. Red Rum.
Movie.
Shut up.
Seabiscuit.
Seabiscuit, yeah.
I think Secretariat was from the same time frame.
What
Yeah, I
was
think it was.
Gandalf's horse called?
Oh,
The Lord of Horses.
pretty horse though.
No, it was called something, the Lord of Horses. Shaka, you're a nerd. You
Mr.
know.
Mr. Ed.
No, it wasn't called Mr. Ed.
No, we're listing horses, American horses you've heard of.
But what's
What was the
Gandalf's
Lone
horse?
Ranger's horse called?
Tonto.
There you go. There's another one.
No, it wasn't Tonto, his sidekick.
No, it was this dog.
I can't remember. Oh,
Yeah,
I honestly don't know if it was his horse, his dog, or his sidekick now.
it was his sidekick. Yeah. What was the horse called?
It wasn't Mr. Ed.
Ask Siri. That would have been such a great spin-off series. Like, you have series 1 is Mr. Ed, series 2 is the Lone Ranger, and Mr. Ed is his horse.
Well, Wilbur. So, what's Gandalf's horse called? I think it's more important. It's something... Shadowfax. And Artifacts was the horse in the Never-Ending
There you
Story.
go.
Thanks, Brain. I've wasted a whole bunch of my brain on useless shit like that.
Yeah, I don't think it has a. Well, it must have a limited capacity, I suppose. But I used to think like if you used to too much, you'd start forgetting the first stuff that you learnt. Like a perfect first in, first out.
I don't know actually whether or not you can learn too much.
You've learnt too much. You must die.
Must forget something.
There is like a village size limit of 150, and I would think that some celebrities might be using those slots in people's brains.
Yes, but when it comes to like Red Dwarf facts, for instance, I could probably recite to you nearly all of the scripts of all of the Red Dwarf episodes, for example. I mean, we're talking about 30 or so hours of footage. I could probably do the same thing for 50 to 100 films. Like, I've memorized a lot of stuff. None of it's useful, but it's all up there. Hence why I can tell you that Jaws is 1976 and Star Wars came out in 1977. Like, I've memorized maybe hundreds or thousands of films' release dates somewhere in my brain. Like, not on purpose, but I haven't sat there and like that. It just sort of sticks. But I don't know if I hadn't learned those things, could I remember more COBOL keywords, for example? Or is it just that for every hour you can learn X number of things and it's up to you what you decide to do it with? So if you spend time learning film dates, you wouldn't have time to do the COBOL ones.
I didn't have time to read the Lone Ranger Wikipedia article fully.
Is it just like White Star or something?
Something like that, yeah.
Silver!
So.
Hi-Ho Silver away!
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Not Tonto. Well Hi-Ho Tonto away.
Bit racist. Hey! Who's that?
That was quite a flash.
Nobody.
Restart,
I think
please.
nobody of you know the horse Winter's Crest, but
From Game of Thrones?
yeah.
No, I made that up.
No.
We should restart. We're restarting. I can tell you hadn't noticed. That's alright, Izzard. I persuade Shadow to restart by just smashing into him. Anyway, I can name
What's that? What that was about? Because it looked like you were coming for me. I'm like, what is he doing?
So my point is, I can name loads of horses, but not the one that your mum had.
Fair enough.
I now wonder if facts means something, or if artifacts was just quietly named after Shadowfax as a little reference.
Do you want to restart for whatever it is that caused you to do that?
No, it's fine. I'll go and read Wikipedia. Right. What was the other thing I was going to look up?
Are horses real? Are horses pretty? Oh, ow! Oh, that hurts over the bumps in this car.
The Lone Ranger was never seen without his mask or some sort of disguise. He was never captured or held for any length of time by lawmen, avoiding his being unmasked. He always used perfect grammar and precise speech devoid of slang and colloquialisms.
Like Batman.
Whenever he was forced to use guns, he never shot to kill, but instead tried to disarm his opponent as painlessly as possible.
By shooting them in the face.
This Trigun?
He was never put in a hopeless situation, e.g. he was never seen escaping from a barrage of gunfire, merely by fleeing towards the horizon.
So Trigun.
So basically you're saying that The Lone Ranger was a well-written show. I am struggling to hold onto the rig on this car over this surface, by the way. But I took that corner better than this nice man here, but I don't think I can carry it through. Yeah, when the car goes in the air and then bounces back down, it suddenly shoots forwards, and the rig shoots forwards with it, so I'm suddenly gaining a burst acceleration.
God, it's quite righteous, right? So, Adversaries are rarely other than American to avoid criticism from minority groups, with some exceptions. The Lone Ranger never drank or smoked, and saloon scenes were usually shown as cafes with waiters and food instead of bartenders and liquor.
What?
I don't think I've ever seen the Lone Ranger, so
Well, it sounds quite pious.
well, it probably was. Because A, it's from America, and B, it's from a long time ago.
Very long time ago.
Yeah, I lost control of the car and could not correct it.
Oh no.
Oh, that's the one that is like, it's lonely because they are in between racial lines. Like, they're too white to be Indian and too Indian to be white.
I forgot the correct term. Not half caste. What's the correct term for mixed race? Is it mixed race?
Who?
The Lone Ranger. I don't know, Schalke. I've never seen it.
Probably.
That would have been quite a leap, I think, for American television of that time.
Impressive. Yeah.
Bear in mind, the first interracial kiss on American television was in Star Trek.
Yeah.
No.
Did you say facts about a fictional character or things they were based on?
What? Me? You want me to give you facts about fictional characters? Gandalf was a wizard.
But sometimes those things have like inspirations and it gets mixed up on whether the fiction or the fact is referred.
I don't think the Lone Ranger was real. I'm fairly sure of this. I don't think he was based on a real anyone. Same with Flash Gordon.
My brain is saying that there was a documentary that would have such claim, but I can't pick up the reference and nobody's going to look up references anyway.
And Adam retired by leaving the universe.
I'm upside down. And
Got him.
the ring's frozen.
I mean, you went inside a building. The building had no floors in it, so you just fell through the earth.
Yeah. Well, the problem is I don't have I've got the emergency stop button hooked up over there. It's not hooked up. I can't hit it. So in that situation, there's nothing I could do. I'd have to try and Alt F4 the game. Like, genuinely, if the game decided to drop me through the air forever, there's very little I could do to, That was a very, very dangerous overtake maneuver, that was.
That reminds me of that video of the guy trying to
Yep.
stop a lathe was quite worrying.
Was he trying to stop it? I thought he just put his... I don't know why his foot was there.
Well, he wasn't dressed for doing whatever he was doing. He had like big baggy jeans on or something.
Yeah, you don't wear baggy stuff around machining equipment.
Not for long.
It's a guaranteed
Tad, what are you doing? Oh,
way to have a bad time.
picking out.
He was really lucky he didn't have his leg ripped off at the thigh, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did watch that video with
I
some
only watched the
trepidation.
first third of it, and I was like, nope, I'm not finishing this video. No,
Okay,
no,
yeah,
no,
But
no,
his
no.
life flashed before his eyes.
I watched it with some trepidation in case that was what was going to happen in the video.
That was probably on the Reddit r/no.
Whoa!
Yes, this is my chance.
Ah. Sorry, Shoka. Sorry, everybody. It's all my fault.
What's your internet's fault? My car is not
Oh,
going
God.
the same left and right now. I wish the game would
No, it's
work
not.
out. There's no possible way these two people have injected at these speeds and not apply forces that magnitude. It's really stupid it does. It's not Breakfast. There's no reason for it. But yeah, I'm having to steer left quite hard just in order to stay going straight.
Yeah, I'm just going to the pits. I would, but I missed it because I couldn't steer.
Thankfully, that awkward corner is a left-hander.
Yeah, this pit entrance is in a terrible, terrible spot.
Oi!
Hey!
What?
Rude.
Watch out those rams.
I was expecting trail braking, not emergency braking.
Doesn't matter.
It kind of does, because you see what you did there could be classed.
No,
as
no. Your fault. Your fault.
I'm
Your
not,
fault.
I'm not allowed to pull in
your
front
fault,
of you
your
and
fault.
slam on the brakes. That's not
Your
allowed.
fault. I didn't pull in front of you.
It was not an unexpected place to brake.
It was.
So CT4 or CT5, not whether that was fine or not.
I was 100% you went into me.
Because you braked at the wrong time. That's my point. When you're
It was
braking,
your fault.
when you're braking that
behind
early.
and
Your
obliged
fault.
to dodge.
Why would I be
There's
that
never
far
been
behind?
a more definitive example of it being your fault, so I would just not bother.
So I can pull in front of you and slam on the brakes, and that's not wrong.
I didn't pull in front of you, Adam. I've been in front of you
I
for
can-
about at least
alright.
30 seconds
fine.
since you crashed.
So I can just brake early for the corner, so you ram into me, and that's your fault. No,
I
absolutely
didn't
not.
brake early, so you rammed into me. You drove into me because you didn't have enough space.
Girls, you're both pretty.
But you braked at the wrong point for the corner. That's why I was not too close to
No.
avoid.
It's okay. It's okay to make mistakes. Okay to be
Yeah.
wrong sometimes.
Yes.
Freedom. It was not malicious, so...
But this is my point. What's the difference between being malicious and just being incompetent? At what point do I go, oh, well, I shouldn't
You
have
really
done
don't know the difference. Wow.
that? Well,
You maliciously brake when you create the situation. And having a style difference. Slight style difference can, like...
yeah, but I was
Yeah.
at a position where I was assuming the person in front of me was going to take the corner correctly, not too close to deal with that. But if you suddenly brake 50 meters earlier than I expect, then I'm going to hit you.
I was watching it live, and that's your usual style of being in total disregard of dodging forward people.
If I start, so I can just start braking early for corners, and you can hit me, and it's not my fault. No,
You made a wrong assumption.
Yeah?
I assumed you do the corner properly. Yes, that apparently was a wrong assumption, but I don't see how that's my fault.
Because you're behind,
And
I'd
that's
like
what
to
we're
dodge.
saying. You don't see how it's your fault for making a wrong assumption, but it is.
So I can just brake early for the corners, and you hit me, and not my fault. Are we clear on this as a rule? Because that's what you're saying. I can purposely brake early.
Why would it be not?
Because that's what happened. So I brake much earlier.
I also know that you know what a straw man argument is.
No, but I'm not saying I wasn't close. I was close, but I'm not. I refuse to take the responsibility for that. I was close, but I was not in a
Yes,
bad place.
I know you refuse to. That's
But
quite
you're not
evident.
taking any responsibility at all. But you're the one who slammed on the brakes
No, not on that occasion.
very hard and very early.
It's only a game.
All true. Not the
Sorry.
point we're trying to make.
My fault. Quite big faults even.
Your internet has gone to
Damn it.
absolute shit, Tad.
Out of the way. Yeah. And like it's upload too, because I'm not getting proper packets anymore either. What the hell?
Wow, don't ram! No, DJ, did you sideswipe the
Huh?
guy behind?
What? No,
You had
it's-
trivial overlap sideways.
He's
It
getting
was
the wrong
from-
packets too.
no. Alcohol bear tried to overtake me on the right. And didn't touch anyone as far as I'm aware.
Oh, there was trivial overlap contact sideways. And your line would have been to say that you would be in the wrong for slamming in sideways.
I don't even know what you're talking about, Schalke. He tried to take me on the right, and that's the last I saw of him. Until he was dead in front of me, after the corner.
Fine. Was the plan to do Blackwood tonight?
I don't know what time it is.
11:35.
1:30.
Bear, unlike some servers, we don't feel that if you spin off, that means you're out of the race. You should get back into the race safely. Like, just like reality, people who crash don't just teleport off into the blue yonder. 30 minutes of... What's this race?
Depends on the crash, but...
No, I mean, you shouldn't just go, oh, I'm disappeared. Like, avoiding crashing cars is, well, part of racing. And hopefully not too much.
You get the big crashes.
Yeah.
Everybody just rails into each other because the person in front fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, I believe that is a common social thing on LiveSpeed servers. It's just not one we do, because it does seem a bit odd. Avoiding crashes is a skill I one day hope to learn, instead of staring at them and driving into them.
Like a boss.
Do you have any votes on what car we want on Blackwood?
No, anything like.
He was saying one of the F1 cars. I think the second one. Hey, is our...
Oh god, not the Fox. That one is truly awful. Oh, we could do the Fox.
Is everybody working up their virtual reality stomach?
No, that's why we're not doing the I forgot the name of it. Go-kart.
Oh, he said FBM.
Yeah.
Second one, not the
Yes.
third one.
Yeah, no, that's the first one. I know which car he wants, but that's the one he always plays. But that's fine. We won't see him.
FO8?
No, the FBM is the
I
one.
don't think I've ever played that one.
The Fox
I
is.
must have. It's orange.
Yeah, this one's a little inline 4.
Oh, I've never played the Fox.
The Fox is, I think it's a 16 valve, but it's got too much power, not enough downforce. And the FO8, I think, is a V8.
Oh.
I think.
And the MRT is just hilarious. What is that?
Yeah, I can't do the MRT. I might be able to do one race. It's just too intense. There's not enough blocking of the road.
My ping's rubbish.
No, 470, 500, 600, 800, 200. It's not as bad as Tad's.
Mm-hmm.
Requested TCP for position updates. What?
Try cycling the wireless. See if that fixes it.
This is the normal one, by the way.
I was gonna say, is this historic? Please, nope.
This is the only car we've got where I wish I had a wind kit as well.
Feel the wind in your hair.
Well, they get them, but the thing is, it's a bit silly because 99.9% of the time when you're in a car, it either has a windscreen or you wear a helmet or both.
It has a windscreen.
It doesn't. I think that's a wind deflector at most. But you'd feel the wind in your face, but there's no way you wouldn't wear a helmet. You would definitely wear a helmet in this car, unless you wanted to hit a wasp hit you at 130 miles an hour. having had hard-shelled insects hit me on the motorbike at 3-digit speeds, I assure you, you don't
it's not
walk
fun.
without protection. I had it was a moth.
Yeah.
Hit me between the fingers of my gloves. My whole arm went numb for a couple of minutes. It really, really, really hurts. And I had I had a wasp hit my helmet hard enough to make my ears ring. But if I hadn't been wearing a helmet, it would genuinely have embedded itself under my skin. It's. I can't understand anyone who doesn't wear that sort of gear, just for insects, let alone any other reason.
I think we were cruising back roads. We weren't going that fast, but a June bug hit me in the Adam's apple and
ow,
swallowing the rest of the ride, going, that really, really sucked. Like right in the middle of the Adam's apple. I'm like, how do you do that?
do you not have a Todd's apple?
Are we making fun of Todd? Why were we making fun of Todd?
Tad's apple, sorry.
Yes. God. What a weird way to fail a joke. Huh? Yep, there it is. I was waiting for that. Hey, Shoka. Sorry about that. Or did you not feel that?
I failed. But...
He with the best setup wins.
All we hear is ginger candy. Ginger.
Have you tried asking the devs about locking
ginger
the
cookies
setup?
No, I haven't. There might be actually a script to do it. I don't actually know if the server actually understands what setup you're using. Probably doesn't. Actually, it might do, because otherwise I could just have a setup where I just give the car 10,000 horsepower.
Overhead.
Yeah.
Wait.
No, I think the thing is, I understand that some
With
people...
no downforce, so the moment you push the accelerator, you just go flying.
Now, I understand that some people do want to play that metagame of spending a huge amount of time lapping in a car, tweaking the setup, and then going online and doing it. I understand that, and that's fine. But in the same way that you can turn on automatic gearbox or racing line or external view or whatever, I feel you should be able to force a stock setup on the server. It's quite a common thing to be able to do, and I'm surprised that in a game that is about racing you can't. Like I said, I've driven one of these little cars, and you don't get to fiddle with it. Like, it's a class of car. They supply you with your car at the beginning of the race, and you race it. You don't get to change it. It is stock. It's like when you go go-karting. They get really annoyed if you start trying to fiddle with the car.
You're only trying to shorten the throttle cable so it's more responsive. Come on, guys.
Well, on go-karts, you say they have little screw caps underneath the pedal to stop you pushing the accelerator out the whole way. So you can twiddle it to get more acceleration out. I've always been amazed with go-karts.
Something you can only...
Come.
Well, I was going to say, something you can only do with sim racing is make sure every car performs identically.
Yeah. It surprises me in go-karts, though, that they don't put weights in the go-karts to try and even them out a little bit.
So then you get that one big guy that shows up and they gotta pull all the weight out. He'll get all offended.
Well, at least a little bit. Bear, your lap time then was 4 seconds best and the best I've ever managed. And this won't be good laps, I span.
Well, don't do that.
What, has he said anything in chat about using setups?
So he is an FBM racer. He plays this track in this car almost exclusively. I don't know why he decided to join us. It's very nice. You're always welcome. But yeah, we're now in the thing that he specialises in.
Right, so maybe he's just 4 seconds faster then.
Yeah, but this wasn't a comment about setup. This is more a comment about I'm 4 seconds slower than him on my very, very, very best lap.
Yeah.
My best is 1:17.8.
Wonder why does this one and not the top tier IndyCar?
Because you can do this one on the S1 servers, or the unlicensed servers, so you can pub stomp with this car and this track. This is a popular choice for that reason.
Oh, so that's why people were doing that when we were just S1 people.
Yeah, when we were free,
Or
when
S0.
when we were unlicensed people, yeah, that's why they're like, let's do this one. Yeah. Whoops, Daisy Schalke.
Or even before you set up the limitations, people would just get in this car, race us, and
Yeah.
pat themselves on the back really hard that they won.
They get in this or the F1 car, yeah, absolutely. Over and over again.
Is this the F1 car?
No, it isn't. Are you joking?
Oh, the other F1.
This is a top speed of about 140.
I can't get close to that, even on this straight.
Ooh.
Because this isn't the historic map.
Oh, you're so brave going on the blue and whites. Come on, little car. Come on. And that's the other thing, Schalke. If I beat you and I tweak my setup, you can just come back with, yeah, it was because you set up. That's why I like it when it's a game of pure, I'll say skill, a little bit of luck, but when it's only the driver's skill is a factor. Wow, as it is.
Excuses come in many varieties.
Well, have you never seen Top Gear?
I have seen some of the Top Gear.
I mean, the reason why you didn't get a good lap is it's hilarious that the F1 drivers, like, the moment they didn't beat the best times, there was always excuses. But I had that because I raced a friend of mine on the road, and his excuse was his car had more petrol in it than mine, so it was heavier. I was like, are you serious?
Oh, you hit me.
No, absolutely not.
You didn't hit me.
Nope, you hit the blue and whites. I hope that you don't think I hit you, but I had half a car length to you. Easy.
Okay.
And I said you were being brave. You were touching the forbidden licorice.
Oh.
Yeah, so you got 114.2. My best lap, that one was 120. My best lap ever is 117.8. What about your Schalke? Do you know what your best is?
I could check.
I have it macroed. Most of us, I have no idea else what's a good lap and what's not. So
What's the command?
/W space PB.
What's the command?
/W space PB. Exclamation mark commands are server commands that I'm not running. I don't know how to run any scripts on, because this is a hosted server.
19.98.
Oh wow, you're not far off from that last race then. That was pretty good. Lizard, what about you?
121.13.
Oh wow, so yeah, you were very close to your best on that race. 121.26.
Yeah, that last lap might have been it.
There's too many cars.
Does he brake very, very late?
Yeah, so around that corner, you can brake late and trail brake. But trail braking is a dangerous technique. So if you brake too hard, you'll just put it into a skid. But that's where you apply the brakes during the corner. So you're still braking as you begin the turning part. And when I mentioned about people on track without enough skill, and that's what they're doing, they're not separating their braking and turning. But if you do it right, you can carry more speed into the corner. I'm not braking anywhere near hard enough on this car though. That's a bit better. Too wide.
No, I touched the stripes.
Sorry.
Oh, that might have been a not clear rejoin. It might have been a.
Well, I didn't leave the track.
No, you didn't. You were fishtailing.
I sideswiped the inside on a corner.
Yeah.
Okay.
I slipped a little bit. I didn't go off the track.
Oh God. Hey, is there?
Hey.
Jesus.
I'm gonna brake in a second.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Whoa! Oh, kept it. I hit the curb and I spun it and I kept it. My God, that was reflexes of a 16-year-old. That won't happen again for a while.
Did you see any of that?
I felt it. Do you want me to,
I went
wait,
flipping
wait.
quite a bit. Did you feel that, Mr. Krabs?
Are you back on your feet? Slash wheels?
Yes, thank you, sir. I'd honk my horn
Hurry
at
up,
you
there's a car coming.
in gratitude. Oh, my steering is interesting now. Yeah, no, that's it. I'm done.
Adam, I wonder if we can reverse our steering by setting the steering range from a positive number to a negative number. Have a wacky race.
God, no. I might mention it before, I was surprised Wreckfest didn't have a mode where you had to drive backwards around the track, because they do those in reality. I actually think reversing the steering wheel wouldn't affect me. I played so many games in the 80s where that was a punishment. It doesn't take me very long to mirror my inputs. Like, you know, half a second if that. It's games...
Didn't Roll Cage have that as a power up? Well, power down.
I think so, yes. It's games where they only mirror the left and right, but not the up and the down that get me. That throws my brain, or it randomizes one of the axes.
I'm going to test it out. Ah, you can enter a number from minus... Oh, hang on, you can enter a number from minus 2000 to 499. Okay, let's try that. 499. Let's me do that. To minus 499. Ah, you can enter a number from 500 to 2000. Oh. That's no fun.
Now, if I can just do the rest of this lap well, I think I'm on course for a record. That was good.
Oh, what am I talking? Why am I doing this? You can just click the invert button, of course.
That would do it.
Invert. Okay.
Seems like an easier way to do
works.
it than how you were before.
It works. We should have a race to the
And
inverted
now you
steering.
crash a lot. Nope.
We should do that.
Oh, come on, it'd be funny.
I think we should do that at the beginning of a session. That's a good idea. I like that.
It's actually not that. It's actually not that
Yeah,
bad.
I'll miss that part. Lol.
Well, it was a good lap. Best lap of the race, but not my best lap ever by a...
Yeah, but I'm really dumb.
Well, in your case, Tad, all you have to do is turn the controller upside down.
Oh, this is easy.
Yeah, I'm not doing that either.
Is it not as hard as you thought?
It's not as hard as I thought.
Oh.
I mean, it still will go catastrophically wrong, but it's not. I thought it'd be like one of those bicycles that steers the wrong way, but it's not, because you don't have to balance.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, I've ridden push bikes since I got on my motorbike, and I have ridden push bikes with the... so the problem is, it's the habit. When you're thinking about it, it's fine, but the habit is to yank the clutch in at a stop. And of course, if you're coming to a hole with the front brake and you suddenly pull the clutch in, that just means you'll yank the rear brake as hard as you can. So if you're thinking about it, it's fine, but I bet if you have a panic moment, you'll probably wrench it in the wrong direction.
Well, the weirdest thing about it is that the force feedback is not inverted, so as soon as you go off centre, it pulls you away from centre.
Yeah, Bear, I reckon you should have a 50% intake restriction. Holy shit, 113. 60% intake restriction.
Yeah, just try inverting your steering now, and driving around is surprisingly easy to adapt.
Where's the invert? Invert.
On the axis screen.
I was really happy with that.
I need to smoke. It was that good, was it?
Wow, that's weird but easy. Oh, I see when about the force feedback, it's helping me. In a bad way.
Yeah. Just turn force feedback off as well.
I can also invert the motion rig to make things particularly horrible.
Oh, God.
So I've got my force
all you're
feedback.
doing really is like.
So I've got my force feedback cranked to 200%. It's really hard to hold it still. Really hard.
Yeah. It's just like driving with your hands crossed.
Why would anyone do that?
Because it'd be wrong.
Try swapping your feet over instead, see how that goes for you.
Fine until you need to brake.
Oh, thanks. You catch up, okay.
Aw, and that's that. You have achieved midnight.
But I'm having fun.
Oh.
Oh no,
Let's-
my steering's still reversed.
But yeah, I mean, this is the best thing. It's when we're having close races and everyone is playing really well. That's when it's the most fun. When it's been a couple of laps of close run driving. What gets you? It's what gets your heart going. The more you've, how can I put it? The taller the Jenga tower of not making mistakes, the worse it is when that tower finally collapses.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if no one's making mistakes, that's
I
when people
do
start
like
to push that little bit harder. Jeez, Dad. Ah! Not sure what happened there.
Felt like you hit me.
I felt like you hit me. Tad, you were in the back. What do you think
I
happened?
was in front.
No, you definitely weren't.
I think I hit everybody.
You were behind me and off to my left. I'm gesturing like
Wow,
my
there's something
cactus
seriously
gesture.
wrong with this game.
My internet.
Well,
Is drifting in these cars even allowed?
well, with downforce. Like, good luck. I mean, you will, which is what I just did, but you should come off the accelerator and then it will snap back because of the aero. So what we've learned tonight then is that the Lone Ranger was a bit of a loser.
The goody two-shoes.
Who played him in the film? I know Johnny Depp was Tonto. And it was apparently a bit weird, the whole film. But I don't remember who played the Lone Ranger.
Johnny Depp.
Who's Johnny Depp? He's an actor.
Known for his weird acting and interesting characters.
No, apparently this was
And bizarre relationships.
particularly weird. Oh, damn it, Schalke, get back here.
What was it? Someone printed an article that said Johnny Depp the wife beater. I'm like, what?
Have you not? Have you
Proved
not?
that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
we went to court about this and everything.
No, they haven't proven it yet. So despite the fact there's lots of physical evidence showing that's not the case, it's still ongoing. Ooh, personal best from Schalke.
Ooh, nice, Schalke.
No.
No, recording of Amber Heard saying, "I didn't hit you, I just slapped you a bit. And you're a man and you can take it." Stuff like that.
Great for your case. Trying to say that Johnny Depp's the one that hit you. Like, what?
No, it's the whole thing is the most horrendous clusterfuck, and the sooner it's over, the better.
I guess the theory
My
is
steering's-
that
I'm
punch
just gonna
in
let
that
you
comes to
fly, my
slap
man.
is disproportionate.
The theory
Oh my
is
gosh,
Schalke,
guy.
but she is a woman, and a woman cannot be beast towards a man. Is always the other way around. So Warner Brothers dropped him in a fucking heartbeat from the Harry Potter films. Gone. No proof, just an allegation from Amber Heard. Conversely, Amber Heard is still in Aquaman 2 as far as I'm aware, despite the fact it looks like there are actual proof in the other direction. So I mean, I quite look forward to the court
And
case.
many petitions saying she needs to go.
Well, petitions
Not that
don't...
those do anything
No,
per se,
no.
but the fans already know, like, this is some horseshit. Wow.
I've caught up with you,
I was
Schalke.
catching up. Yeah. I can see you both now from above without straining my neck.
Yeah, but I'm so close. This is horrifying.
Yeah, he's slowly inching away from you again. Oh, you're catching up again. Schalke, why did you slow down then? What just happened?
No.
See, brake was going around the corner there, which is scary, but means you come out nice and quick.
Can I get
I
better?
don't understand what
can't
happened
even
on the
fly.
straight.
It might be I drafted.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know if this
Did we
game has
decide that
drafting.
is a thing now?
Well, it's definitely a thing. Whether or not this game supports it, I don't know.
Yeah, of course it's a thing, but he did definitely seem to pick up some speed from somewhere.
I hate this. I'm spending my whole time looking in the mirrors, not in the head. It's good for lap times, though. You're right, Tad. Someone chasing you is definitely the best thing
What?
to get your lap times up. Ooh.
Oh,
Now that was a
Schalke took
drift.
that. Yeah.
I drifted. That was awful. What happened to Schalke? You should have got me
Well,
there.
he also drifted,
Almost
but
drifted.
he just
Had to correct.
yeah, bled off a bit of speed at the end.
Now I've got a bit of room, so I might be able to take this corner a bit slower. Or not.
Yeah.
Oh,
did.
no, Shaka caught me. I definitely.
Oh no, he's really about to touch you.
No.
Oh, Schalke, you went on the
Got scared.
stripies.
Side knees.
Is that what we're calling them now?
Yeah. Oh. Schalke's now going on the curbing intentionally to try and cut the corners a little bit. Pretty close.
Oh, good last lap though, Schalke. Personal best.
Yeah, that was quite close. Thriller at the end.
Yeah. So.
Well, you could do better than that.
For reference point, I'm braking at the end of the straight at 50 meters, but I'm applying the brake during the corner. Probably do it, well, I can do it better because Schalke managed to catch me up no matter what I did. But yeah, that's my braking point is 50. And good lap from Tad as well, 26.
Woo.
Car's a bit knackered though.
There's a different way of taking that turn 3 that I have been using, and it has benefited me a lot.
Turn 3. What, the...
Yeah, sharp one.
Sharp?
Oh, more? Okay.
Please sharp one.
I'm going to do one more, then I'm going to go to bed. Because I have work in the morning.
Actually to bed, or go...
Or go what?
You'd like to go back to coding when you're done with this.
No, I've got some cool stuff going on at the minute though, but I'm going to wait till tomorrow to do more programming.
Cool stuff, you say?
Well, yeah, the videos are all in the Sub-Commander channel. I can't see Izzard at all.
No, I'm spectating.
Oh.
How do I change who I'm watching?
Tab.
Right, watching Schalke. Watching you, Schalke, how do you like it?
More safe.
Overlap.
Less shouting if there's
Parallel.
Yeah.
No overlap anymore. It's safe to pull back in. Oh, that's one block.
That was
I have to give the reaction room. And it's clean. It's clean. It's clean.
Nice.
That was a return to
Yeah,
racing
good.
line, not a block. Oh, and Shaka's alongside.
Yeah, nicely done. 2 good turns.
Motherfucker.
Wow, I went into that pretty quick.
Whoops, wrong gear.
Oh,
Always brave.
well, it's fine if you're if you're going in a straight line. It's fine.
It's fine if you're not accelerating as well.
Yeah.
The issue is the slippiness of the Kirby's compared to the tarmac. Can't see Schalke. Wrong
You'll see
gear.
him in a
Official
second.
sounding words.
Oh no!
What?
Schalke hit the toothpaste.
No.
Oh, he did not freeze.
Did not freeze.
Wow. Schalke, you forgot your own rules there. Reversed in front of Tad.
Yeah, but
As
he
if
knew he
didn't-
would just hit
if he
me,
didn't-
so he didn't care.
Yeah. Well, you must feel awful. It's almost like they're completely disregarding you, like you're a completely inferior racer.
I completely disregard me as any kind of racer.
Yeah.
Come on now.
I got annoyed for off-roading twice in a row.
You're not supposed to confirm that. Shulka, please.
No, but I get moral high ground for
For what?
being open about my mistakes.
Fair enough.
Oh, come on, Schalke. I let you catch up, and now I've lost you again.
Yeah.
Oh,
Try
Tad's
to be
lagging
honest
out.
too, except with Izyard.
What?
And this surprises anyone?
What did you say?
Tad is teleporting around all over the shop there.
No, it's just, I'm truthful as much as I can, except with you, Izyard, because you're confrontational, and then we could start wreckfesting, and it's fun.
Izzard.
Yeah.
Izyard, or Sai.
Got overdeveloped
that is
sense
your
of
real name.
vengeance.
Well,
Good dodge.
I hope Bugbear actually come out with a sequel at some point, by the way. Like a newer engine, VR support, the works.
Breakfast?
Yeah. Wreckfest is old. Blimey, that used to be called Next Car Game. I want to say 2015, 2016?
So, do you still think he's using the same setup?
I don't know. I mean,
He's half a lap in front of you.
I do have another setup for this car for this track, which I fiddled with, but
Okay.
I'm not using it. But there's no way I can do a 113 in this car. I have no idea where I would shave 4 seconds of my best ever lap.
Everywhere.
Oh yeah.
I think you can accelerate through these corners more than we think we can.
Which ones?
The arrow really keeps us on
I do.
all of them.
I do. I mean, I am. Once you hit your apex, that's it. You're accelerating all the way out. I mean, I can shave a bit off. I mean, there's probably a second of poor cornering. There's not 4 seconds, I don't think.
4 seconds for
Yeah.
us.
I checked on the second
Damn it!
incident.
You learned, you checked.
Yeah, well, well, before joining, I checked whether they are behind people, and they were. And I improved on the freezing. Not the most convenient place, but partial improvement.
Well, I say, when we start to average, it's better when we do longer races, because then crashing out is not the debt. You can come back in and still catch up. It's just that with some of the racers that we race with, that means they're going to just spend a lot of time spectating. No, you're getting there. You've learned where the brake button is.
Sometimes.
Yeah, see, that corner was great. I did that really well, but I mean, that's probably saved me.
Yeah, with quite a late break as well.
Yeah, but that's at most a quarter of a second I've just saved, and it's not.
All adds up. Do that 4 times, that's a second.
Yeah, but there aren't 16 corners on this track, I don't think. Oh, that's wide.
But there are multiple laps.
Yeah, but I'm trying to save 4 seconds on 1 lap, unfortunately. Is that good? Am I going to get a lap record for me? Yes, very good. 18 point. That's my quickest today by quite a margin.
There's a going. I can't imagine why.
On my tyres. Yeah, my tyres are 90.
I wonder how much he's drifting through corners then.
That's the thing, I mean, the best way to improve your lap time is not horsepower, it's tyres. And you can fiddle with your tyre compounds in this game endlessly. Another good reason to go with
not slicks on this?
a longer race. Yeah, you can put track tyres on you like. I don't recommend that you do.
Really?
When you stay off the curbs. Alcohol bear. I think we do live speed 3 times a week at the minute. Feel free to subscribe or follow, whatever they call it in Chatland, and thank you for joining us. But you've been most non-rammy, and that is appreciated because we try not to ram, no matter what actually happens.
It's been half a lap away most of the time.
Yeah, well, that helps too. Also,